OpTic Texas! Once again!
Shotzzy!
Wow! iLLeY!
There's iLLeY, Dashy, the shredder. Oh, iLLeY.
Wow!
Problem from the top.
Scump, are you joking? Bye-bye!
Slayer, it's over!
It's done! It's done! OpTic with the reverse swing! Let's introduce Atlanta FaZe.
Trying to make something happen! And the second!
There's number 7 and number 8.
On the smoke, take it down.
They are seemingly unkillable.
God!
Has he been gifted the kill steal? And he goes, find it! Oh, baby!
There's the kills are lining up.
Number 6.
Oh, come on!
I've seen Atlanta FaZe do some Atlanta FaZe type of things.
Texas, it is time! How we doing? You guys ready? We have set up for an historic moment. The stars have aligned. One of the greatest rivalries in the history of esports. FaZe, OpTic, one more time. It could be the greatest grand final in the history of Call of Duty. Let's meet the damn teams. We're starting off. OpTic Texas. Dashy, Big Bruce, get on out here. iLLeY. Shotzzy. And the king, Scump! And last but not least, Rambo Ray gets out here. Join the boys, Ray!
Strictly business on stage, but you know, I did see an earbud in iLLeY's ear. I wonder what he's listening to in belly.
Listen to Victory, I don't know, something like that. Hey yo, Maven, bring out the boys from FaZe. I'm ready for this game to get going.
Yeah, I think the crowd might be a little different for this one. But it's time. You can feel the energy in the venue. OpTic, their opponents. Let's meet them. Atlanta FaZe starting with Simp. aBeZy. Arcitys. Cellium. Atlanta FaZe. As Crowder comes out, the GOAT.
You can hear the boos. Atlanta FaZe has made the losers run. They want revenge, and they're here to play spoiler in the grand final, a place that they're used to being. Maven, let's get this thing started.
Are you guys ready? Come on, are you ready? This is set up to be one of the most historical moments in Call of Duty esports history. The chance of Miles.
Clint, thank you so much. We have all the pieces to create one of the most iconic showdowns in all of esports. Who knows, man? This is going to be one hell of a show. For those in the venue, this really has been something special. For you watching at home, wish you could have been here. We hope you enjoy the show. This truly is going to be a brilliant matchup.
If you are a Call of Duty fan, this is like the dream scenario that you could have. And one of the most impressive things, right? Like, I'm looking at the age of everybody in this crowd, and I'm looking at how long Scump has been playing for, like a 12, 13-year career. He's part of everybody's childhood, and he is still going. You know the crowd is behind him, and this weekend he has been frying. I can't wait to see if he can keep it up.
He's had a fantastic event so far. The whole team has. Atlanta FaZe, of course, making that lower bracket run. And hey, they got a lot of it done today. Let's see how much more they have left in the tank. This best of 9 series is going to go, hopefully, the distance. We will see, though. Now, maps and modes.
And bro, there is 10 maps in Vanguard. That means OpTic, their only advantage is they get to ban 1. They played them obviously yesterday in this series. You know what they wanted to do map 1? Square up on Bocage. You know what did not go well for OpTic? Bocage. FaZe undefeated on that map, so OpTic says, no thank you, we'll take Berlin instead. But I mean, this is the true test. You know we find out who the best team in the game is if you have to play literally every other map in the game. And for OpTic, if you want to be the best, you gotta beat the best, and that has been Atlanta FaZe for years.
We run nearly the entire catalog of Vanguard here in the opening major. This best of 9 now set to begin. Gavutu to start things off, a hard point. Both teams have had their fair share of excitement on this weekend, but none will come close to this.
And think about the guys that have been piecing up all weekend, right? Dashy, hardpoint KD, ridiculous. Scump on this map when he's pulling out the AR. He's been the main slayer for this team. On the flip side though, Cellium, well, we were thinking he was the MVP coming into this tournament, and in hardpoint right now, he's got a 1.41. Gotta look out for him to fry in Arcitys. I mean, dude, when their team lost yesterday, it's like he woke up today and flipped that switch. He has been taking over the AR battle on Gavutu. Let's go.
Here we go. First to 250. Nades out have been the bane of Atlanta FaZe making their way here, but as you can see, it's gonna be Scump there in the hard point first. Shotzzy with opening kills, but Simp on the flank, managing to deal a lot of damage, helping his counterpart aBeZy get those kills. Shotzzy remaining alive for a brief moment, and here comes the do-si-do. Round and round we go. Shotzzy pumps the brakes for a moment, and okie dokie. iLLeY helping out there with Dashy, hard point OpTic.
Little things like that, man. Buying your team a little bit of time to get back inside the point. Maybe the good news for FaZe, though, they do get those right side spawns, but still, it is not easy to break in this hill. iLLeY gets the next one, and the wipe is in. Final 12 seconds going the way of OpTic. Look at number 3 in the minimap, Shotzzy. He's already behind them all. He's gonna let these players run past and try to flip these spawns. Now we can pounce.
We go, Shotzzy playing smart, knows there's at least a few, finds one. Over to the center of the map now, inside that ship. That's going to be hard point number 2. Shotzzy still playing this beautifully. OpTic identify the players in the spawns on that right-hand side. They're playing for that as well. So far, so good. OpTic still trying now make the break.
Look, man, route man gets paid. Shotzzy is the route man, but you got to get the kills. You do put in the work to flip those spawns, so that's a slight advantage going into new, but if you get bullied out like this and throw away that time, what is it really all for? Because FaZe right now looking dominant on this second hard point.
They're set up now. aBeZy trying to make the hard kills, trying to make his way towards P3, top right-hand side of the map. But there's still 25 seconds here to play for on boat. We're going to do what we can to get all that time. OpTic now on the counter-attack, trying to find their way in. aBeZy on a 4 now, on the outside, going toe-to-toe now with Scump. Reloads, too late. Scump brings him down.
Shotzzy making big plays, by the way, right? He was the guy around most to just strip away some of his time. Scump the next one in line. He is going to fall, but little plays like that, just taking away an extra 10, 15 seconds to make the game that much closer as we go. But this is the play that Shotzzy made on the previous hill, right? He wanted these right side spawns. Now we get to see what can OpTic do with them.
Okay, if you're feature player, Dashy now starting to light things up. Right-hand side of the map, the top side, that's where we want to be for OpTic now. As we go now into the third hard point of our set. iLLeY loaded up, finding that time, soaking it all in. It's over to Dashy on the back line, trying to play at that long range there with the automaton AR. Simps up, brings him down. There's a few more we had there, but Shotzzy's already in the flank. This could be huge. Sees 1, sees 2. Shotzzy strikes.
Shotzzy in his bag, right? Even making the smart plays to wait for the second before he shoots the front man in line, and he is the guy that flipped them to spawns to get you inside of the hill where iLLeY can just be the super soaker. Final 20 seconds, OpTic are poised to get them, but at least FaZe making amends, trying to shut down that rotation. You cannot afford to lose too many hills in a row, and they hunt down Scump as well. So, hey, that is a full 60 for OpTic. FaZe looking to respond with a full 60.
Whoa, that's a big kill. Simp on a 4 spree now, looking to make it 5. No more though, as Scump brings him down, but eyes to the minimap. To the other side of the map now we go. That's our next hard point. So far, FaZe in full control. That's going to be aBeZy now, roaming through mid-map, trying to cut these members of OpTic out, and this is how you get it done. Shotzzy the first. A few more to be found, but the raging push now from OpTic making their way through mid.
And FaZe, by the way, they are leaving these back spawns open. They want to eventually try to flip OpTic in the back and start the spawn kill. So if you flank around, you better make sure if you're Dashy, you win these gunfights. He's on a 4 drop. And again, look at the spawns. FaZe loves playing up towards boat to flip them in advance. They're looking for the full 60, and they're trying to chain this into a P5. FaZe right now playing OpTic like a fiddle.
This is great. OpTic are trapped in this side of the map. They need to fight their way out right now. And Atlanta FaZe locking it down. Simp finding a big kill. His counterpart aBeZy on the side now gets involved. Billy gets on the board. Oh my! Arcitys gets down in the end. Big kills. Over to the other side of the map we go though, and Shotzzy trying to make the play.
Big wins again for that final bit of scrap, and now it's about that big rotation. FaZe, you knew they were going to get to this hard point first, but also for FaZe, they know they have to turtle just a little bit. That deep side was wide open. Shotzzy waiting to make the move. He finds the moment. He bounces, finds the first, it's the second, and the break for the moment is in. OpTic, they've got the clearance, they win the rotation, and they build that lead.
They have 4 down. FaZe spawning on the close right-hand side of the map. Scump on the prowl, trying to find anything. FaZe reposition now, going in through the top side. Cell, Arcitys trying to lead that push. You can see from above now, hard point, left-hand side of the map, all OpTic. Here comes the push now from FaZe. Let's go for a quick listen in with OpTic Texas.
Yo, back is Alex. Are you? Alex is I'm in serious, guys. They're deep.
Yep.
Sit down. I'm here. You have Mr. Brennan?
I got it.
I'm deep, man. Sit down.
What's first guy as well? First guy as well.
I said your first guy. One deep. Deep on you. Go under.
Yo,
Nice. I got needed. Yo, he's went their side.
Yeah, they're right.
Right here. Close right here.
Yo, I saw her time. There's money before.
Yes, huge right side. Still left. Two more there side. You Brennan, need me.
We'll get another picture.
One's in the bunker.
Under dead.
Yo, put him on me.
I'm hit you though.
I'm nading him. Nice. I'm nading him. It's there. I'm bumped out there, Seth. I'm Mr. Brandon. Help set.
Hold on. Watch me.
Yeah, you watch over me. Help set there. Yo.
I got you. I'm bumping Seth.
Any Mr.
I'm still on Mr. I'm playing rotation.
Watch out. I'm saying down.
I'm rotation now.
I'm middle.
What's left?
Middle me. Nice, you down.
Look that.
I'm rolling down.
Yo,
Mr. on me. Mr. I'm here.
Yeah, I have both. Stop the up. He's low for me.
Yo,
It's good work in the comms, it's good work in the score as OpTic Texas start to pull things away. We're going to see P1 come to a close. The second hard point now opening up, OpTic in control. Let's go to Atlanta FaZe and hear how they break it.
Top clip.
Hang on me.
I'll see you. Dashy, one shot you. Dashy, there you.
Want this though?
I'm needing top out. I'll see cliff. He's on the right. Rock. He's on the rock. Pretty good. Rock heading.
Right there.
Go ahead, Shotzzy. Pitching you. You got me.
Oh, that's it.
Good up. Last two. Yeah?
Watch out. Shot iLLeY. He's absolute. I'm playing iLLeY.
Be wrestle yourself.
I'm trying to go. Be hard kill.
Yeah,
I'm playing me.
He's shouting me up.
One shot. Or short. How are you?
Here's are you guys. Make sure we're on left.
I don't see it. You're working now?
On left. We're good.
Dashy, you're dead. I'm in one shot. Did he go?
20 seconds. We're gonna have to fight this.
I'm in one shot iLLeY again. I flip. Alright, this is double, guys. This is double.
It was for green. Got me. Nice. It was for green.
Hey, still there. One shot. One turn.
Yo, rotate right.
I'm trying.
I'll play time.
Yeah, I got
I'll see what I do. I see nothing ring. Top ring on you, Tyler. I better hit you.
What'd you say?
I got one.
I
hit another one. I
got shots in the back.
I'm gonna streak him.
Despite the calamity and the scoreline getting ever bigger now for OpTic. FaZe chance, they sound pretty calm.
I sound pretty calm. They are down by 100 points. They got a long way to go, and you better stay alive inside of this hard point because Dashy's coming. Scump's around back. You make it to the hill, but it's a teammate that takes them down. iLLeY, though, trying to make up for it. With the pistol! The Super Soaker the 360s for the kid! OpTic running them over! Dancing on the grave of Gavutu. 10 seconds to go.
It's not over yet. 10 now for the win. Scump's trying to hold it down. It's a last-minute push for FaZe, but Shotzzy, he says no. Blocking it down. It's 5 for the win here in map 1. Cellium, he's going in. Shotzzy brings it down, and that is it. That is map number 1. The absolutely electric. It's like nothing I've ever seen in esports before, and I tell you what, for Atlanta FaZe, this is no easy thing to go up against, let alone when OpTic are playing that well.
Shotzzy, I mean, countless intelligent plays from start to finish, flipping his spawns when he needed to. But oh my God, shout out aBeZy, bro. Super soaker inside the hard point. Like, again, the hill time was ridiculous. He had 2 minutes and 22 when we were like halfway through the game, but not just that. Gunning Arcitys over on P4 when they needed the scrap time. 23 kills he collects as well. And when I saw that teammate, I was like, that might be the moment for FaZe to get back in it. What does aBeZy do? Pieces him up with the pistol. Grabbing or snatching victory for FaZe in just such a dominant fashion. And I mean, he was the guy today, right? Playing against London, things were looking bad. They lose the first map. They lose that first round in Search of Detroit. Wait, just kidding. aBeZy 1v3. He has stepped up on Sunday, and that performance right there might be the best of his career.
We look across the highlights now of that opening Gavutu hardpoint, and it wasn't a very long one indeed. And oh baby, what a way to start the final here. One thing we talked about with aBeZy again, Shotzzy, he's had kind of low KDs across the, most of the tournament, but at the end of the day, like, he's going to win you a map or two guaranteed in a series, and that is one of the greatest things about him. Here, though, he's finding the kills as well.
And he carries a lot of weight, too, because obviously he is like the main IGL for the team. His comms are always fantastic, but again, this is the hill where it was a close game at this point. It was a very early rotation from Shotzzy to flip those spawns and really put them in this good situation, and this is the gunfight right here again, aBeZy versus Arcitys. We have seen FaZe spawn trap teams in the back, pick them apart, but he wins that for the extra 10 seconds to make sure they get the 20-point bump and make sure that his teammates can push up beach. I mean, that is just great trust between teammates. That is just frying with the pistol. I mean, aBeZy a masterclass, and obviously Shotzzy was the super slayer that entire time as well. That world champ duo, no strangers to playing against FaZe, and at least for the map number one, they kick things off right.
Great start. The streaks were there should they need it. These are the final moments. Shotzzy with the trick shots, the last one coming up. Here we go. That's a great way to start the grand finals. Desert Siege, Search and Destroy coming up next. We'll take a breather, friends. Different game mode, different pace. After the insane opener, I'm excited to see what the desert holds in wait for us.
And Desert is a wild map for a few reasons. One, FaZe phenomenal at it, right? I mean, Cellium, he's gonna call you out with his X-ray vision. We already know how that's gonna go down. On the flip side for OpTic, we've never actually seen them play this map. It has basically been their auto veto, but the first series they had this tournament, they let it through for a game 5. And I remember talking to Ray about it. They came very prepared. They are ready for the Search and Destroy. And OpTic Search and Destroy, well, there you see it. They have won 12 rounds in a row. They have turned it around, and that is so much credit to the coaching staff. Not just Rambo, Ray, but Center as well. The S&D has been on point. And I'll say it is not quite perfect, but it is damn near mistake-free. I mean, anytime they make a play at the opening of the round, if they get that first pick, they readjust, group together, move as a unit. I mean, they are trying to play as perfectly as possible. And it's not just that, even when the rounds haven't gone well, you see Dashy clutching his ones. We see aBeZy clutching his 1v3s. OpTic have been on point. But of course, on the flip side for FaZe, they have made this their home. This is one of their best maps. And honestly, if it wasn't for that London comeback earlier where FaZe blew that 5-1 lead, it would still be undefeated.
Yeah, it could be something. Desert Siege. We now lead into our second map. Coaches off the stage, final moments passed on, and we now prepare ourselves for potentially 6 rounds if OpTic can have their way with a chance, because right now, the search is good.
And something I'm very interested to see, right? When we saw London play FaZe earlier, we saw Zero attempting to snipe quite a few rounds, was not panning out for them. Both Cellium and Arcitys happy to take that chow. They get the first shots in, you got the flinch with a sniper. Not easy to hit shots. Of course, when they put it away, they made that comeback. Curious as to see whether or not the counter snipe will be in. I don't see that glint on Dashy just yet. And I see Scump getting that first blood.
First blood on the bomb site is hugely important. However, the bomb has made its way towards A for now. That's where we're going to be seeing aBeZy try to make this one down. It's on aBeZy to watch this. A lot of information passed out there, at least one. Now backs on up. The quick push. Shotzzy doesn't get away with his life. We're leveling things up now at 3v3. Pressure from A, long gone. That bomb is now over by B, and OpTic, there is no one home. That's getting planted.
Dashy has to pick this guy off bomb. It's going to put Planet, and he's actually looking for Cellium first, but Cellium, this is what he lives for. This is the map where he just had an unreal S&D KD, but you see what's happening, you hear it, you know what's going on. aBeZy looking for the chow, they hop off to get the kill.
They're on top of it already. Cellium now has to watch over, finds one. Cellium lines him up, gets the damage in. Less than 30 seconds. You've got Nastie still. He's in a position now to try to make the play. Clock is ticking. The quick reposition. iLLeY's line him up. He dashes from cover to cover, but it is not enough. OpTic take round 1.
It is so difficult to have good comms in an intense series like this, but they hop the bomb. Whoever made that call, no, get off it right now. We're taking these gunfights. He's coming in. If that's Dashy that spots it, if that's iLLeY with the reads, or Scump just making the play call himself, little things like that can win you the round. And OpTic showing an aggressive look on defense as well, right? Couple players hitting out towards B to get that first blood initially. A very clean round from OpTic Texas.
Round 2. OpTic down on offense. Bomb in the hands of Scump. iLLeY's 2 that round, going to get off to a nice start as we're now going to slowly but surely teeter our way towards that B bomb up close. As we've seen time and time again. Shotzzy with a break-in entry, top side of the palace. All cleaned out, some call it university, but that's up to you. Simp's throwing shoulders there in the corners, finding something. A lot of information passed, shuts the door, good manners. You've got a bit of a reposition now with the bomb, but the tension is certainly there. The Shotzzy still on the hunt.
That silence not quite active yet. Still wait just a little bit more, shots ringing out, but I think it might be the dead silence play, or maybe if you back it down, you're looking for the opening. Here's Shotzzy.
Can't get away with his life though. Simp comes in for the immediate trade, but with that, he gives his life. The bomb gets planted. Now the 3v3. Post-plant position now for OpTic, lined up all along that train side. Here comes Bruce, sniper in hand. Let's find out why he's our Mountain Dew featured player. See if he can't catch a couple of heads here, but Arcitys now on the counter-attack, finding one. Bruce, he does manage to take it. Oh, baby! He gets them both. It's now all on a Scumpy. A couple of bangers from Bruce. That's 2 in a row.
And FaZe has been one of those teams, we haven't seen them very often pull out the snipe. We obviously know they are capable. But if you're dealing with Dashy who's got the hot hand, you either have to avoid the sniper entirely or just try to go for that chow with a sniper of your own. But he's establishing that early dominance, picking up those 2 kills, 2 rounds, back to back. And mixing things up on defense is OpTic. Untouchable as of late. This time the B plant though was given up and will get the bomb down.
That's a live count, by the way. We are at 14. Let's see how we go though. Scump. Bomb planted now for Atlanta FaZe. Difficult site to retake. We've seen him already do it once before. Nades out. It's a widespread from OpTic. Looking at the flanks. Simp will take care of Shotzzy. That first blood going now the way of FaZe. Still a battle on the bomb site. iLLeY wins it. That's a huge fight to win. Now trying to overwhelm it. We're going to see some damage now. Over to the Mountain Dew feature player Dashy, trying to get something going here. Trying to just keep some coverage up. Big wins from Arcitys. The shots are in. Then it's too late. The bomb has been defused. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky.
Round 1 on defense, what does OpTic do? Triple hit, effectively that B site, get the first blood, put that idea in their head. What do they do the next time on defense? Well, just back them down after it gets planted. Hit them with the retake. Protect your friends. That is 2 rounds on defense where OpTic have just stuffed that B push. Something that will be in FaZe's head long term, but for OpTic, back to the attack they go. And they're putting pressure on the outside side of the map. They'll be looking to see if they can spot out Cell.
Different looks, hyper aggression now from Atlanta FaZe. aBeZy and Nastie's now hitting that left flank. A's going to be a dangerous place. Shotzzy trying to back up. Tags all across the board. He's been brought down. Scumpy though, now through mid, can't get it done. aBeZy getting involved, iLLeY trying to trade things out. Dashy, last player left alive now. It's a 1v3. We've seen him in these situations many times before, and Simp's on it, not a chance. That's going to be the defuse. The fast plant comes to a close. Atlanta FaZe, a very decisive round from them to end the spree.
We knew the streak would end eventually, but still FaZe in a tough spot. Clean round again. It is not easy to make aggressive play calls when you are down in round count, but FaZe just aggressive on that flank up through trains, and once you find that first pick, it makes your life that much easier. Atlanta back on the board, but now I'm curious as to what they'll do on the attack. They've had 2 B pushes that did not work. They were stopped in two very different fashions. They might be feeling that pressure, making that adjustment. They almost feel forced to go over towards that.
We'll find out, though. That's 3-1 still, as FaZe get themselves back into it. Bruce gets brought down. The submachine gun of aBeZy rings out. Fast Drazah, look at OpTic go. Fast and furious as they roam now, trying to find their way inside. Can't get another one. There's aBeZy. Has his cake and eats it. Gets himself another. Still keeping the fight close on the inside of the map. iLLeY now equipped for the fight. Bad timing. Unfortunate. Shotzzy now in a 1v4. Bomb down. This is going to be tough.
You can jump off the map at this point. Well, there's the first. He's getting tagged up at aBeZy. You know what he's looking for. Going after the ace, and he gets it. Too easy for aBeZy, earning that paycheck. That is what he is here to do in search and destroy. Find those small little openings. He gets that first blood. I do not know how he gets away with his life and to turn that into 2. Well, you almost have to gift him the ace at that point. Now for FaZe, pair of rounds in a row. I mean, I know aBeZy's still a few kills away, but you got to think about kill streaks, at least have that idea in the back of your mind. OpTic certainly will be keeping track, but aBeZy's on a 5, knocking on that double's door.
Dangerous to have streaks here, of course, on Desert Siege. Not a whole lot covered by those bomb sites. Scump brought down once again. Good shots out of Arcitys. Takes the head off the king. The crown down now in the bottom mid. Man advantage of FaZe. Still trying to find something here. That bomb carrier, that was Scump, so that bomb's down. Do they know that for absolute certain? We have seen OpTic, of course, mix up the bomb carrier, trying to throw the scent off, but 3v4 situation right now. OpTic are waiting for the pick.
Bomb down in just like the worst spot possible. It is not fun to have to go and collect this. Still with plenty of time to work with, but aBeZy is going to make this his territory. You cannot afford to feed him any kills. You can even see Cellium. There's no point pushing on the flank. Don't make any mistakes. Shotzzy though, looking for it.
Here comes the noise, and aBeZy knows it. Oh, we saw a cheek. Hey, Shotzzy ends the spree. Streaks off the menu, and now bomb recovered. The game plan is now to try to get that bomb down ASAP. Arcitys with line of sight over that bomb. And he's going to be able to maybe plant that one for certain. There we go. No one aware of it. Here comes the reposition from FaZe.
And there was no pressure on the flank, right? So that's going to be free for a big. Shotzzy finds the next, and Cell is out of the fight for a moment. He needs to start to fly.
Arcitys, he didn't have a great hard point, but so far in the search, pretty good. Cell trying to watch that mid-map. He definitely saw iLLeY. That's huge. Good shots. Less than 30 seconds now to work with. Arcitys, he pounces. Shotzzy, though, once again. Finds another. Looking to close it out. Oh, Cell makes it a 1v1. Less than 20 seconds on the clock.
Battle of time, though. The battle of time. He is forced to make the move, and you know what move he's going to make. The question is, what can Dashy try to do? What's the timing like? He gets it! Too tough of a spot for Cell. Not enough time, and Dashy, you know how he is in his ones. In a situation like that, easy reads. Big old Bruce. OpTic bounced back, and I think Shotzzy just looked and said, all right, aBeZy, if you can do it, well, I can too. That is a 3v4 clutch. Shotzzy and OpTic picking that defensive setup apart. 4-2 lead. FaZe, they want that middle of the map.
Incredible round again out of shots. You know, just the kills, but picking up that bomb, making the recovery, getting it down. aBeZy, though, back on it. Finding that first blood, 6 and 4. Whoa! Here's Scumpy. Through the wall he goes. Simp, though, with an incredible two-piece. Right in the mix he goes. iLLeY, though, big shots at range for the automaton. 1v2 now. Arcitys does get the bomb down at B. Post-plant position FaZe.
The guy we were saying could be the MVP, though, is the first man he needs to pick out in sight. Cellium lives for it. He is but a pixel on iLLeY's screen. And, well, that pixel kills very quickly. Nice bounce back round from Atlanta. What do we see? Domination towards the middle of the map. aBeZy hits one angle. Simp comes from the other side. Happy to fly at OpTic. And if you can dominate the middle of the map on Desert Siege, that gives you access points to literally everything. Whether or not OpTic want to attempt to contest or want to just send Shotzzy in and let him go to work, but he's trying to bounce back.
It's 4-3. Dashy's back at it with a snipe. Cellium becomes one with the desert. And now we return his water to his tribe. Bomb recovered from Shotzzy, though, as the first bloods are exchanged. aBeZy is still out and about, alive and well, dangerous as you like. Simp, though, he's got top mid control.
And if there's a sniper, you have to flank it, right? You don't want to deal with a sniper from the front. So that's what FaZe is doing, sending a couple players on the flank, but I think OpTic are feeling that pressure because they haven't planted that bomb. They are waiting for this moment.
Bruce is in a lot of trouble in a moment. Again, it's FaZe. They are on their way round. Oh my boy, he checks the corner. Wait, he may have something here. aBeZy will find at least one. iLLeY now has to turn head, and this is a great pinch from FaZe. They are retaking that train. Bomb yet to be planted still. Arcity's going forward. Timing is going to be great now from iLLeY. 2v2.
A big shot. Yeah, dude, so far back in the spawn, playing the angle. Now Shotzzy's turn to try and clutch. He gets the bomb down, but he might not have anywhere to go. They know that he's forced to go towards the middle.
It's going to be huge now. Trying to make something happen towards the bomb. Shotzzy's got to make something special happen here. And again, as far as the noise goes, Shotzzy now trying to hit the back line. aBeZy with the tags. Massive kill out of aBeZy. Round goes to FaZe. And we would appreciate, fans, if you kept the noise to yourself during moments like that.
Yeah, so easy to not be a jackass. But either way, FaZe again clean, evening up the round count, and a clutch for them, right? You clear out that site, make sure nothing can hit over towards outer, and if you force them towards mid, you know where to look. And I think, again, just playing off the sniper, right? If Dashy is getting control over those outer sides, put the pressure on the flank. A battle on Siege we have, and honestly, I think for OpTic, aBeZy is the man. You have to shut down so many first bloods he's collected.
Yeah, he's back on it. The absolute hero of the first blood category when it came to the entire Cold War season, and so far working out. Shotzzy now trying to make something happen. He's hitting the back, and he's going to get it. Scump as well. That first blood works out now in favor of OpTic. Here comes the pinch. You're running out of options. Mid-map, not a safe place to be, but the outside of the trains, that's where we're going to be hitting now for OpTic. Arcitys, the gun has been spotted. Shotzzy gets involved. 4v2 situation now.
Such a good swarm. They're reading. Simp as well. You're pushed towards the back. That's a good call from Scump, and well, iLLeY might be a free death. That's number 5 for aBeZy. Keep in mind, he's been after Streaks once. He might be after him again. You cannot feed him any. Kills it. Dashy takes him down. OpTic with a dominant round. Miles, I don't know if it'll happen. The fans just want it to be one more round. FaZe, they want to see that round 11.
Oh yeah. You finally managed to stop the spree now from FaZe. But OpTic's prowess and search and destroy still continues. This is it. Map point for OpTic to go up 2-0 here in the grand final.
What is the play call going to be? OpTic have mixed things up. They've attacked Cell over towards B. They've approached left side with the sniper. And aBeZy again just finds it. I don't even know where from. Maybe the top middle of the map, but iLLeY, the first one to fall.
A lot of place to work with. And here we go. Shotzzy v Simp. Simp wins it upstairs, and it's looking a lot like a round 11, but we're far from finished yet. 4v2 now. It's on Dashy and Scump. Dashy still with that sniper in hand. It could be the silver bullet for the monster that is aBeZy, but he has to find him first. Scump is teetering on the play now. As the numbers for FaZe start to swell up, he is ever so close now to an incredible opportunity. But again, it's Dashy having to watch his own flank. They're in 2 situations. They have to try to play this together.
And that is the value of going on aggressive flanks early, right? Dashy constantly has to be concerned, and you do have a decent chunk of time to work with, but Cellium, again, he is but a pixel on your screen. Dashy can hit the shot, but it is not easy. Scump does get spotted. FaZe knows that the king is in mid.
Is that enough, though, to pull some aggro and maybe give Dashy an opportunity to get a shot? Hello! No photos, please. Nades up from Nastie. Here it goes. Bomb planted, Scump gets out. And there's the play. aBeZy reach out, Scump wins it. Simp now trying to hit the flanks. Time ticking, noise indeed. Dashy gets brought down, it's all on a Scump. Simp lands the kill from behind. That is plenty of time to get the defuse. And we're going to a round 11.
Round 11, Miles. I don't know how many we'll see in this series. It could genuinely be every single map. Both of these teams fiending for some sort of advantage. OpTic want the lead, but again, it is a race to 5 maps. A long way to go. You need every single one. I don't know who it'll be on the attack. Both teams have a plethora of strats at their disposal. I think the main advantage is more than likely just been FaZe towards the middle of the map, but aBeZy has been that first blood Reaper. You already know he's got murder on his mind.
Final round, here we go. Dashy puts the snipe away. Eyes out for those first bloods. They have been decisive here, and oh, here we go. aBeZy throws a shoulder or two, now trying to hit the wrap. Look at the shuffle on that minimap. All these arrows now making their move across. Bomb being planted towards A. Simp makes the read, and this could be huge. They time it together. It doesn't hit anything, though.
No kills, and you see aBeZy. He's actually got the automaton, so they're ready for these outer lanes, and you see what the game plan is. OpTic, they've got some outer lanes covered.
And they're going to try to find something. Shotzzy's going to check it, but that is absolutely unbelievable. He jumps off it just the last second, less than 30 now to play with. They've got no idea. Dashy flies forward. What's the information pass? Can Scump get it every time? It's a 2. No, now it's a 1v3. They stuck the bomb at the very beginning of the plant. It's a tried but true classic strat. Atlanta FaZe prove they have the ice. They put it all on the table in the final round.
4-2 comeback. FaZe is able to get running the outer lane towards the end, making the adjustments and those play calls. Hop the bomb, get off, they get ready for the kills, but OpTic too slow to try to get them off bomb. Dashy forced the wide chow. I mean, a battle of a game number 2, and look who popped off aBeZy. 13-7. I don't know how many first bloods, but here in the paycheck in map 2.
He drops a donut in the winner's bracket, and now all of a sudden, he took that one personal, you know? He really, really did. So there we go, 13-7, the big bounce back there, the round 11 victory on Desert Siege. 10.5 minutes, that one went the distance indeed. Well, there we go, friends. This final does get that bit more interesting. Atlanta FaZe managing to level things up there in the surge. Just we saw a little bit of everything there. Good snipes, we saw great bomb plays, heads up plays out of both teams. Ninja Diffuse, they diving on. We got at least one on each side. I mean, Desert Siege, it's a map that's been giving us everything so far.
And really, honestly, in that setup from OpTic, I mean, I'd have to rewatch it, but again, just not enough pressure towards the lane. FaZe effectively able to bully him out. And I also appreciate aBeZy, right? Instead of running the middle of the map with the MP40, switches the automaton, prepared for that bomb site retake. Well, for the homework, they get an A+ to tie that series up. Now we go to a Gavutu control, where it's an interesting map because OpTic, they haven't played it a ton, but their KD on this map is ridiculous. So maybe, I don't know if it's favored for them between that and Tuscan. Obviously, we get to see them both, but it'd be fun to see exactly what they have up their sleeves.
Well, yeah, we've seen FaZe play, a couple of Gav controls, a couple of Tuscans as well. We only have 2 maps there in the control rotation here in Vanguard so far. But hey, that's a great way to level the series up. We're definitely going to be going the distance here. And I mean, Charles, any kind of calls now as far as like how the control goes?
I think if there was any advantage, you'd probably lean towards OpTic Texas for the control.
There you go, short and sweet, just like this break. Don't go too far, friends. When we come back, we're going to Gavutu.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, tied up 1-1 now, going in control, and well, we think of control, we think of Dashy. He has been doing damage here in the major, and that's why he's our Mountain Dew featured player.
I mean, like just completely lights out when he was playing against the Royal Ravens, and also completely lights out this entire tournament, right? It is a battle for MVP. It is a battle of the cracked out ARs. Dashy versus Cellium, and well, in this series, tied up so far. We saw what happened though on the Gavutu hardpoint. OpTic had the edge, not just off the back of the slang, and it was iLLeY and Shotzzy that were popping off, but out of the smart plays as well. It'll be very interesting to see how this one plays out. OpTic have the better record on this map. OpTic have the better KD on this map as well, but I do remember a little moment for FaZe. They were one of the very first teams to make an aggressive push over towards B, and I mean, they had a 4-man stack on that B point at one point. That was off the rip, so who knows what these teams have prepared, but we know in the major, in a finals like this, they're pulling out all the stops.
It's $200,000 on the line for first place as well. You bet you're pulling out all the stops. Still, we keep all the good stuff for champs. That's just the way you like
the great stuff.
The great stuff. But we're almost ready to get into that Gavutu control here, and everyone in the venue has been incredible. For those of you watching at home, this place is full of heroes, of like all the OpTic icons are here. Formal, and the guys from Halo over in the corner. Maniac just took his shirt off in the break. It's insane. The major is not disappointed. We're going to continue now on the Gavutu control. Map number 3 in a potential 9. Here we go. This has been a goodie for both teams, but let's get it. On board with FaZe kicking this one off as they make their way in towards both zones. A and B, capture those, win the round, or kill your opponents 30 times, whatever comes first.
Nothing fancy so far, but Cellium, you see, wins that one, maybe opens up the round, and Arcitys finds the next, and well, aBeZy gets to go hunting, spots out Scump, and Scump gets taken down. Very clean opening break for Atlanta. While aBeZy is just feeding his team the intel and getting nades as well. If your nades are on point on this map, you're gonna have a good time.
So far, so good for Atlanta FaZe. They're gonna find those kills. First segment A, long gone. The second one they're working on now, but it's all Arcitys looking towards that pressure on a B. Oh my God, it's Simp now. aBeZy's looking to reinforce. Spawns for OpTic still close on the right-hand side, but now aBeZy in 4 he goes. Shotzzy finding 2, takes care of the terrors. Back over to Arcitys, who should cap A.
And that is a massive 2-piece from Shotzzy. This round could have started to spiral out of control, but OpTic able to at least stabilize. They actually stopped the 8 point for a moment. And now FaZe actually have to be concerned because they have players pushed up towards P1. If you're by ring, well, you got to wrap back, and well, because of aBeZy making a smart play, catches Shotzzy. Make sure you never get set in a spawn trap. Atlanta FaZe still in a good spot, 5 life lead.
Oh, holding it down. 18 now for OpTic, 22 for Atlanta FaZe. Scump sitting aside top vote. Not a whole lot going on so far, but here we go. Finds one. aBeZy almost goes as well. Shotzzy's going to find the call out, trying to find something. That top 3rd boat position, very, very strong power position. Huge line of sight across most of Gavutu. Here come Atlanta FaZe, making their way in towards that B site. OpTic set up a defensive hold for now. One player in the back going to be Scump, the 3 remaining members looking towards mid.
And FaZe are really taking their time on this push, right? If kills are going to be a big difference maker, you cannot afford to give anything away. Got the boat control. They sort of felt out the positioning. They know there's going to be a lot of ring pressure. That's what Cellium is going to be staring at. And looks they don't want to flank necessarily all the way around. Maybe try to go through this mid-cut. Shotzzy's here waiting.
And this has been a long time with very little action here on Gavutu, but we're waiting for it. Shotzzy in the bush. Boys out here playing Caldera. There we go. The first kill comes through. aBeZy does bring him down, but that's it. The gong has been run. The action is on. And Scump's just chilling now. Finds himself in aBeZy. That's going to be that side of the map cleared out. Now going towards mid. Arcitys doing what he can on that side. Scump cooks it. Up it goes. Shouldn't find anything. But there we go now. Bit of a shuffle. Shotzzy's made his way through to the spawns of Atlanta FaZe, but he better turn around because the rest of the team's through.
Well, Shotzzy's calling out all this information. He's trying to get set up to actually initiate that spawn trap later on. So that is a couple of smart plays from Shotzzy, right? Letting players cross and getting that intel that he's wrapped all the way around over towards ring. Number 5, though, on the minimap, Simp, trying to soften that push up. With only 30 seconds left, it really feels like that game plan from FaZe. They are kills first, objective second. They are taking their sweet time.
They have a 2-kill lead for now, but again, 20 seconds remaining and OpTic will take the round. It's 1st to 3. And they're playing this so slow. I've never seen a more slow Gavutu so far in the tournament. Scump pulling it back 1 kill at a time. Final 10 seconds. Is anyone going to make the play? Here we go. Lying in wait. 5 seconds. iLLeY ties it up. Even Stevens going in round 2.
And love it or hate it, I think from FaZe, that's almost like the perfect strategy for this map, right? You have a, what is it, 28% chance of winning the round, and that's if you do it off kills. If you're trying to cap B, I mean, it drops down to about 10. So they said, hey, this is the grand finals. We're going to play it smart, and that means we're playing it off on kills. I think for FaZe to be able to keep that life count tied on an offensive round, might not be ecstatic about it, but they will take it. Now it'll be OpTic's turn to attack, and already you see where this is going.
Yep, we're going to go heavy towards B. We're flying in. FaZe are going to play this a little slow. They're going to turn those guns up as soon as they see Shotzzy making his way through now, and he's getting the party started with that first kill. Nade, this is it. It's all coming through. We're trying to stack that B point. We're making our way on now, and aBeZy, he's trying to do everything he possibly can to slow it down. Nades from Nastie over the tops. Here comes iLLeY, lying in wait on the beach. Now the onslaught beginning from FaZe, trying to get on board now. They're going to slow down the push, bring back the kills, do everything they possibly can, but Shotzzy's still alive. He's still on that B zone. We've stopped the clock.
The gunfight fights though. Dashy there to win it. Shotzzy trying to stay alive, but the help is there, but Shotzzy doesn't need it. Wins the next one himself, still alive on the point.
Over the big bruise, Shotzzy in and out he goes. Smooth moves, keeping the play alive. First segment of B gone. Dashy now doing what he can to keep that top ring control. Shotzzy still capping it. The rest of the team, though, they're looking towards the ring.
Hey, where are the nades? The nades coming through, but they're not connecting the actual point. Shotzzy's still alive, so these players off spawn. If it's not with the nades, it's with the gunfight. Dashy with the help. B zone nearly gone. They'll get the stack. They will capture the harder point first. They get 2 minutes to work with. They are out of their spawn, and Shotzzy, he's thinking about the streak.
Oh my, this is huge. First B goes. We had a minute to the clock, and now the onslaught begins on boat. Final zone remaining now on the lower side. iLLeY's got control. Sees at least a couple. Now, pressure now mounting. We'll deal with the timeout in a moment, but this is going to be the aggression from OpTic, trying to get the cap. Players pushing their way through on the right-hand side. Everyone flooding through that dock. First segment gone. Stacking on up, trying to keep the numbers there. OpTic is stacking. They're stacking. You gotta go, aBeZy. You gotta try and get in there. You gotta go. That zone is gone. That zone is gone.
And that is a tale of two different styles of the approach to offense on Gavutu. It can be risky to go for those B pushes because you end up getting wiped out, stuck in your spawn, and picked apart after that. But OpTic make it work, and Shotzzy, the guy making plays. He goes crazy in a 2-0 lead on Gavutu. I mean, it has to feel so sweet on top of the fact that you get that life advantage as well.
Quickly now deal with that. Requested timeout, I believe, from Atlanta FaZe there on stage. But in the meantime, we can break down what happened in that last round. Again, chance like we don't see a lot of really methodical Gavutu offensive rounds. That's a bit of a rarity right now. Again, Vanguard is young, still a little babe. We're back into it now. But oh baby, that was one hell of an opener.
And this is crazy too, because if I was FaZe, I was thinking your hand might be forced, but look at OpTic, by the way. They double stack over towards B because they're expecting the same thing that I was, right? Atlanta FaZe to be aggressive towards that more difficult point, but we're going back to the standard. FaZe back against the wall in this game, trying to make something happen. A couple kills starting to fall their way, and keep in mind for the moment, Scump is on a 4. So he's trying to play his life, and he's trying to play for these kill streaks if he can get them, but his hand gets forced. He goes to make the play, and he found the opening.
Oh, he did. aBeZy still there on the zone. Hey, first segment gone. A little bit of pressure towards B, but you still have Dashy now trying to hit the players in spawn. This is the battle on point, though. Dashy's taking care of the front line for OpTic now. Forced to the point. It's Shotzzy. Tip of the spear. First man in. Gets those kills. Stops the capture for now. You've still got a lot of progress done, but B, now the target for iLLeY.
Well, the nades connect, so the wall bank's not quite there. You have to get this man out of the hill. Simp already a tick collected. They got the ring pressure, but at least you get him away. Good news for FaZe, you get a tip of progression. Bad news is you get wiped out. Cellium the last man standing, but at least he finds a kill. His team has a little bit more of an easy clearance to try to go towards the middle of the map, and frying like that. That's what FaZe needs.
Big shots. He stays alive for long enough to get that second tick of progress on A. That's huge out of Atlanta FaZe now. Simp trying to get this done alone. The rest of the team making their way up the beachhead. Here comes the push. 2 members now on that A zone, should cap a lot faster. That's now going to be a thing of the past in a brief moment. Looking towards that ring side of the map as well. Cellium wins that one. So, for the time being, OpTic 18 lives, 20 to Atlanta FaZe. 2 segments remain on B and a minute 45 to get it done.
Well, it was clean from OpTic on defense the first go around, but you know FaZe is going to have to pour on the pressure this time. iLLeY though in the back, ready for it, takes 2 of them down. P1 control for OpTic. Shotzzy deep inside FaZe's spawn, and hey, he might fall, but you only got a minute and a half. That is a hike to go across the map. And Dashy playing outer gives him options. He can flank, he can go back towards ring. For the moment, if it's not for Dashy, FaZe is starting to find a lot of those kills.
Dashy's trying to watch both things, trying to watch ring and trying to watch the open beach. iLLeY's got the inside of the map covered for now. OpTic spawners making their way front. Over to Dashy now. Has to hold on this onslaught from FaZe. iLLeY to back him up. Nice shots, but the information now passed. Back to Dashy. Finds one. Dashy's got to try to hold this down himself. Dashy. Oh, one more bullet in a cell. But little does he know, the onslaught still continuing on from beach. Now FaZe, the numbers starting to swell. Still making the push, 50 seconds.
Can you hear those stuns and nades ringing out everywhere? Cellium able to find that pick. FaZe, they're working on that beach pressure. Cellium inside the point. I don't know how much utility OpTic has to get him out. You see the wall fakes coming through. Cellium does not care.
He's still making the shots. He's staying alive for the brief moment. Wow, Arcitys helps him out. Shotzzy on the flank. What a kill! Arcitys may have saved the day here. Now you're seeing the pressure. The stack from FaZe. This is huge. They've got 3 players on. The nades from OpTic, not enough. Too little, too late, but FaZe, man, when the iron is hot, boom, they strike hard.
Back against the wall. I mean, that is maybe the 5th or 6th time we've seen that objective actually get captured this year. It has been a rarity. And we saw OpTic, they just did it with a nice opening break where Shotzzy's making the big plays. Atlanta, they had to earn that as a squad, but they got it. Now they go towards defense. Easier to win on that side for FaZe. Thinking about that round 5. They clutched up in the round 11. They're waiting for the next one. OpTic going towards A, and honestly, FaZe, I mean, they got 4 guns looking that direction.
2-man hit through A. aBeZy gets destroyed by a barrel. Completely eviscerated. May not count the kills department, but that's going to give them the map space to move forward. OpTic take full control of the boat and now looking to take the docks as well. Prime real estate. And Scump, he stamps his name on it. Oh, he's playing games. He's playing games on the outside of dogs. Oh, big shots out of Nastie.
And obviously, Atlanta just proved in that previous round they can absolutely clutch up on offense, but even still with the way this map plays, OpTic, their biggest thing they need to focus on is making sure they do not get outplayed. If you get an opportunity to get some caps on offense, you go for it, but the kills are most important, and FaZe are getting them all.
FaZe get the kills on top boat. You now force the spawns back over for OpTic. They make their way out of spawn. They take care of Simp. He was the player there dealing the damage. Now Arcitys tries to pick up the pieces. Waiting for those members of OpTic to make their way out. Trap is set. Counts 1, counts 2. Can he finish the kill? Oh, no! OpTic base safe for now.
And they're turtling up, right? Because again, it just comes down to those kills. If you're looking at the stat line of the tears, they are about combined -8, -9. So FaZe certainly down, and they might be forced to go hunting. If aBeZy can't find the opening, he gets shut down for the moment. The setup too strong, and you have another player fall or two. You can see what OpTic's thinking about. They're thinking about that B point. They have 2 players pushing towards B, and they win the gunfight. They can go for the stack. You can cap this quick, but the nade from downtown.
17 seconds. Got to get back on the point to stop the clock. iLLeY knows that, but he's waiting for the rest of the squad to make their way in. He has Scump on top ring covering him. Here come the reinforcements from FaZe. Fresh out of spawn, fresh into the fight. Arcitys bring down iLLeY. Can't get it done. Nice angle. First segment gone. You still have to worry about the kills for FaZe. The numbers now for OpTic swelling. Scumpy takes care of 1. That's a 2-piece. Numbers still now working out for OpTic. The kills are there. The progress on B. 1 more tick's all that remains, and we get an extra minute to play with. Has lightning struck twice? I think it has.
OpTic Texas, they get the more difficult point, and Scump still thinking about those streaks. It is so difficult to capture it, but they found the timing perfectly. But now it is operation. Don't get spawn trapped. If you can get Scump a glide bomb, he gets better. He finds the next one, and he gets it. The question is, when do you want to call it in?
Streaks now on the menu. A, decent coverage, but you can hit those players, deal the damage. Clock still ticking. Scump on the 7. His teammates are getting taken out around him. aBeZy's up. Brings the spree to an end, but for now that's fine. Can use the streaks to break the setup.
I mean, it's only 30 seconds, right? I think for OpTic, it might even be a risk to call it in. You might just say, hey, we got the lives. We'd rather save it for defense and make sure you get that clearance on the B point. And you see the pressure from FaZe all up in their spawn. So nice adjustments and big gunfight wins. If aBeZy doesn't pick up Scump on the flank, it could have gone very difficult. But that is a beautiful round from OpTic. They might not get the win, but they get the extra utility. They should be good for defense for this round 5.
And this is the trap. We've seen it time again. 5 seconds now remaining. The round is going to come to a close. Atlanta FaZe will get the win. But who gets defense on the final round will be decided by kills. Man, this is a good control.
And I think FaZe, again, I mean, just absolute pressure on. In their previous offensive round, they found a way, but now it is that much more difficult. The glide bomb coming into effect. Now, if I remember correctly from their series yesterday, it went to a round 5 in the control. I believe it was Dashy that had a glide bomb that was the savior in the round 5. Might be a similar circumstance, and if I'm FaZe, you know they got the glide bomb. You need to force this out early. You need a strong opening break and get it out of dodge.
The bar is great. aBeZy with that first blood. iLLeY's hitting this one a little late. This could work out fantastically for him. Waiting for something, finds the first. Oh, iLLeY with a snapper. 4 HP though. He's managed to turn the heads of FaZe for now, and that's going to be good enough. aBeZy though, looking to make his way up the beach, make his way up the little goat path. Oh, aBeZy doing what he does best, slaying his way forward. Clock has been stopped. We're on B, and we're capping the point.
And I'm looking at number 4 though. 4 on the map.
Oh
might be able
my.
to make the play. aBeZy getting in the kills, but now it's about the flank. Scump can't find it, and you might have to commit this. But Scump's towards the middle of the map. He's got more gunfights. He's calling it in.
Calling it in. Going to try to take care of one. Got to pick and choose. He's going to be the player in spawn. Unfortunately, takes Dashy with him, but for now, that's fine.
And that is perfect. You force it over towards B. You get that glide bomb out so early, and you're still putting the pressure on B. But even FaZe, Arcity's going to be doing this almost by himself, and you see he's going to fall. But this is why FaZe makes the adjustment. They are playing this perfectly. Now they've got the pressure towards A. They still have Simp around ring, but they've at least done the first step in trying to win a round on offense.
Atlanta FaZe though now, they turn their attention towards the A zone. OpTic trying to fight at the way out of the beach. Ship being captured slowly but surely. That first progress at A done. And aBeZy is still in your spawn, still causing problems. Cellium now making his way up the beach. The Shotzzy's trying to vie for control here. You've got that slow and steady capture happening at A. So when that's done, an extra minute to play with. Second segment almost cleaned up. And this could get real mixy. We're going to go all the way down to B for one last hurrah here in the control.
It cannot be understated how important that ring control is. Shotzzy winning a massive one-on-one, and even when he falls, well, Scump there to fill in that spot. And now OpTic, this is the battle. Clutch up on defense. 8 points secured, a minute and 42 left on the clock. FaZe have done it before. And also, it might not even be the point, they do have that 6 life lead.
Yeah, 6 lives. If they kill them all, they win as well. It's 14 lives now remaining for OpTic. aBeZy playing it slow. Simp's going to get the party started now on the other side of the map, and aBeZy made enough noise there. Will it turn the heads of OpTic? He's making the play. Scump's got no idea. Tags are in. The rest of the team are being dropped. As slowly but surely, we make our way on to B now for FaZe. Kills coming through once again. They've set themselves up for greatness, but are there enough members of OpTic to get the play? It could all come down to Shotzzy. Shotzzy has to make the hero play right now. Shots are in. Can't quite finish Arcitys. You got to get going, though. That's the second segment of beat gone. One more is all they need, and FaZe win the match.
And they got a man in the spawn as well. They got the cut-off kills. Arcitys might just be able to get it. Dashy wins a 1, and now they can test the fear Scump flying to kill Arcitys. The battle potentially for the round, and Scump takes him down. Alive for a moment. Cellium still in your spawn.
Cellium is the man behind enemy lines right now. If Scump can kill him, that's great, but you still have to keep the front line safe. Shotzzy does that. Dashy cleans up the back line. 5 lives for OpTic Texas now to the 14 of Atlanta FaZe. It's going to be tough. There is a minute still to play with. FaZe have done an incredible job of slaying out, and Chance, it's going to be tough, but it is not impossible.
Hey, Atlanta, you just got to get your trades. You got to just buddy up together and get your trades. OpTic have to be perfect, but there's a beautiful pick.
Picks are indeed what you want. Dashy banged up from that nade. Backs on up. iLLeY playing the tightest corner he can possibly find. Arcitys, walk that corner. You're in trouble. He gets dropped. 5 to 12. 40 seconds. OpTic buying these precious moments is all they need to do. Here comes Dashy on the coverage. It's another big win. 2 members now from FaZe making their way towards ring. Shotzzy's got the deep angle covered. Every single nook and cranny has an OpTic member in it. Less than 30 now to go, and they just keep finding the kills. Shotzzy somehow still alive. Scump gets another one. I don't believe what we're seeing. There's 20 seconds left. You've held back FaZe the whole time. FaZe looking to make it happen, but they can't buy a kill. We've got 10 seconds. FaZe have not managed to kill a single member. No one's going down. Have OpTic done it? They've done it. What a round of control that was.
are asked for perfection in that final round on defense. Down 9 lives, 5 remaining in a minute on the clock. They hold strong. How many kills in a row did they get? How clean the setup towards the end? And how cold was that ice? 2 map wins for OpTic, both on Gavutu. They managed to deliver.
Look across at the stats. There is some referees on stage. We'll find out what's going on and get an update for you, but for the time being, we'll reflect on what was an incredibly exciting Gavutu control. 2 offensive round wins either side. Shenanigans on that B zone, the harder of the points to capture, and both teams took a stab at it. Both teams bit the orange to peel it, and man, did they get that job done well. Scump 27-21 overall. We have the final minute. This is our game fuel tactical play. The final moments of this game. Look at that life count, 5 to 14.
And again, right, someone has to find that pick. You cannot afford a full 4-man push because you're too spread on defense. So you got to find an opener. Dashy gets it. Now it is going to be a 3 versus 2 effectively in the back end. I will say, I don't know what it was, but obviously weird stuff from Arcitys. You see it again right there. I don't know what it is, but iLLeY, I mean, he'll take advantage of it. Next pick comes through, and then look at the coverage from Dashy. The stun's on point for the intel, takes aBeZy down, and well, now we shift towards the other side of the map. Shotzzy, as patient as he can be. I mean, he has turned the IQ up an extra notch for this grand final. Shotzzy, the big brain plays nonstop. The help from iLLeY on this next gunfight. Everybody watching each other's back, working as a unit. And OpTic Texas deliver in another nail-biter game.
Again, looking at the clock ticking down, it forces the hand of FaZe. They have to make something happen, trying to resolve what's going there on stage, and that is a big win for OpTic. You know they're feeling themselves after that.
A big win and a couple big smiles, right? I mean, these guys went toe-to-toe yesterday. It came all the way down to a Game 5, and well, I mean, we're on pace for another back-and-forth one as well. Did mention, though, as far as like advantages go, we know it's a closely contested battle, but leaning a little bit towards OpTic for the control. They deliver, but obviously, I mean, we're 3 maps into a potential best of 9, so we still got a very long way to go.
We have a really long way to go. That was an exciting one. Again, waiting to get full confirmation. I think we're going to keep rolling with that, but there was some hoo-ha on stage. We may have a potential delay here, but in the meantime, wow. That control round, 5 lives to the 14. Not an easy thing to do. Time helps. Again, you're forcing FaZe out of those tight spots. You have to make him push up the map. The open beach, no defilade cover there. Shotzzy's tucked into a little corner. iLLeY's got a little corner as well. Every single nook and cranny on the map has an OpTic crack in it.
And just to rewind the clock, right, OpTic had to do in previous rounds so many things right. It was the opener where they're able to get the defensive win because of the opening break where, surprise, surprise, it was Shotzzy just making whatever ridiculous play over towards that B point. And maybe that B area was obviously just the theme for OpTic because then Scump was the next man up, earns that glide bomb, because if he doesn't actually earn that kill streak, we saw the pace in the pressure that FaZe was able to put on those offensive rounds. So if you didn't have that Hail Mary glide in the back pocket, well, FaZe would have been full of grace.
Waiting on full update here from the referees. There is words of a potential reset. There is the officials on stage now getting that final word. We had some issues there with Arcitys, but at the same time, and oof, man, what a finals this has been so far. An iconic setting here. The 2 of the biggest names in Call of Duty, 2 of the biggest, most recognizable names in esports going toe-to-toe. I hope, Charles, we get to see this all season long, right? I mean, this, you called this at the kickoff. You're like, I think both these teams is going to be 1 and 2, maybe all year long.
And honestly, I mean, with the way they've been playing against the other teams, there does seem to be some degree of separation, right? I mean, FaZe just rolling through the matches today up until the grand finals. OpTic obviously undefeated throughout this tournament. So I think it might be the case of a 1-2 punch battle. Maybe Toronto, obviously, or Ravens. You know, a few teams are going to be in the mix, but we know at this moment in time who the top dogs are. And again, if we got a long series, I mean, we talked about potential like map advantages as you go across the board. I know for the hard points, I was leaning towards FaZe in that category, but hey, good news for OpTic, you at least ban that bocage away. That means we will be seeing a Berlin a little bit later on, as we got iLLeY. I mean, whatever he's saying, we know it's enthusiastic.
I'd love to hear it. Oh, I'm looking forward to the champs, oh, sorry, not the champs, but the major one, like grand finals comms check. There we go. Okay, so we have an update from the referees. The map will not stand. We will be replaying. We will be replaying the entire map. It does not stand. The result. I know. Don't shoot the messenger. Come on. We're going to replay that one. There has been a PC issue. It's all smiles, though, from the OpTic boys. They're going to run it back. But that Gavutu control, we will need to replay that one. That is the official word from the referees. Let's get back into it.
And I think anytime you see a little bit of lag on land, that is not a good sign. So whatever the case was for Arcitys.
Oh, so wait, sorry, I got good news. I got good news. We're only doing that final round. That's good news. We're going to replay that final round. So a PC issue, we'll deal with that, and we get to replay that final round. So it's final round. Only issue Scump didn't have streaks. This is the way it happens. We didn't see that timeout requested either, though, so that's the way things go. But final word there from the referees, that last round will be replayed. So Gavutu control is still on.
And I think what the replay was requested like after the first round, after the second round, something like that. So I have no idea what the issue is with Arcitys. They said it was a P issue,
yeah,
PC issue, whatever the case may be. Hey, now you go back at it. The circumstances are going to be the exact same as what we said before, obviously minus that glide bomb, but OpTic, they need to clutch up a round of defense on Gavutu. But I'll be honest, it doesn't look easy because it was almost every single time outside of the first round where Atlanta FaZe just wanted to play for those kills. They were putting on the pressure time and time again. You might have had the ice in that 5v14, whatever the case may be, but we're going to have a battle back on our hands. I mean, Vanguard, it has been such a wild, ridiculous year. A year of extremes, right? Whether it be map-specific things, whether it be stuns doing 6 times as much damage as before, whether it be Toronto not winning a single hard point and still placing top 4. It has been a wild year, an incredible tournament. The grand finals and all its mixiness.
Hey, and it's the start of the year. Like, we're barely through this thing. We're Major 1. We're already seeing some crazy things happen in and out of game. It's bound to be an unforgettable year. And hey, we've only just begun. It's just now waiting on that final word. You can see the players in the lobby loaded up, ready to get into this one final round of that Gavutu control. Atlanta FaZe definitely feeling a little anxious after that one, but hey, fair's fair. We have to adhere to everything that comes our way here in the league. With that being said, though, we are going to throw to a very, very quick commercial break. Upon our return, we'll dive into that round of control as the coaches now get the last words in. Technical issue aside, it's been a great final so far. We'll be back on the other side of this break. Surprise, we're back. We're almost almost ready now to get back into that final round of control. Worked everything out, glide bombs included. We're trying to get back into the swing of things. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience. Here we go. Back into the round of control. I said that, but it came to us. What do you think, mate?
I think I'm ready to see some Call of Duty, right? I mean, no one likes delays in these situations. Everyone obviously moving as quickly as possible. And obviously the players, they just want to shoot each other. That's what we love to do.
I think that's maybe what some of them are doing right now. Yeah, I saw fist bumps out. Well, you know what that means, friends. One of those ones, like over the top, over the top, over the top. You know, COVID. Well, I mean, they don't want to get up and move. You know how it is, friends. But we're almost ready to get into the game, and we have resolved that issue. So now, hopefully, all things considered, we should be full steam ahead to get back into that one. That final round of control. Round 5 on Gavutu, deciding it. Pick that map win away for now. Get everything sorted, get everything good, and get ready to roll back into this one. Final round, it's a one and done. And we are trying to make sure that everything is as fair and as competitive as it can be. That's what you'd expect.
For me, this is almost reminiscent of what we used to do with Champs when there was ties and pulls. If you just square up with another team, back in the day, it was you play one game of S&D, and it is a situation you almost never find yourself in, and certainly this one, as unique as you could possibly have. One round to decide, well, not the entire thing, but at least this map. OpTic on defense, FaZe in the attack, and look where they're going.
Here we go. Straight back to the middle of the map, we have it. aBeZy's going to find that opening first blood over to Dashy now, and it's pure aggression. Again, it's Atlanta FaZe on offense trying to find their way in towards B, and they have been stopped.
And this is great. You got a couple players that can be the cutoff. You get Dashy wrapping back, and number 4 Scump is going to tell his teammates they are always going to be going towards B. They got the setup they want.
Simp finds one on the back. That's actually brought down. Cell on point, taken care of by iLLeY. iLLeY's going to back on up. He's heavily tagged. That's going to be the final kills. So now, FaZe make their way onto the point. Head in a swivel, though, as he got Scump trying to make his way in through mid. Does he manage to find the kills? It's up against Arcitys! Nails it. That's that side of the map open. Back over to B we go.
Massive win by Scump in that situation, and he saw him using the MP40 as well. He knows the fights were going to be around ring. Able to pick up those kills. FaZe still working around this P1 control. Dashy here for the raid. Takes Arcitys down.
Oh, he lives. Dies after a while, but here comes Scumpy. What the hell was that fight? Cellium sending it. With the mid-map, damn, almost takes care of Arcitys there, but again, look at the clock, we're taking this one down, it's less than 30 seconds, and that's going to be OpTic with the map. Don't worry about the kills for now, friends. Cell, trying to get on top of A. That's going to be the slow cap now, 23.8 for Scumpy. He not only is the king, but clearly the captain as well! Cell's now still on the outside, been taken care of. 15 seconds remain.
And a 4-man wipe means you can set up for the spawn kills, but where Shotzzy falls, it is back to the same. Scump watching Cliff, man in the boat watching Cliff. They are forced to go to B, but there is simply no time. 2 seconds on it, you can't get there. OpTic clutching up again.
What more do you want? What more do you want? We're trying here. They clutch up a huge round of defense. FaZe have one shot at it, one final crack, and it was a valiant attempt, but in the end it just comes down to some wild kills. Scump's what, 2-piece on top boat, the boys were there to cover him, that makes A safe, the war at B raging still. Unbelievable.
I mean, Scump said, fine, I don't need the glide bomb, right? It was when that opening was up over towards B. It was obviously great nades from his teammates, but it's the flank towards ring that gets that man out of the hill and just winning those gunfights. It just wins you the round, and obviously he continues that over towards the boat. So I'll repeat the talking points I had earlier on. 2 Gavutus that we have played, OpTic take them both. I don't know if it was necessarily the AR supremacy, but good plays from OpTic, both those rounds. Shotzzy again, I mean, he just elevates for moments like these.
Yeah, good job from the entire team getting that problem resolved swiftly. We love that here. But that's going to be it. Gavutu now comes to a close. It's a 2-1 lead now for OpTic here in the finals. And hey, man, that was great. That was fast. And what more can you ask for? What more can you want?
You know, fast. The final round, I suppose, was fast, right?
Man.
No actual
look,
time on either point. But again, we know this is going to be a back-and-forth battle. A Game 5 the last time they played. And I think one of the more interesting things, what I'm thinking about for this matchup, is historically, at least for the past 3 or 4 years, when OpTic have gone against FaZe or United back when the Terrors were on that team, the story's always been, it's going to be a battle in the respawns, trading maps back and forth, but the search and destroy is where the Terrors have set themselves apart. They clutched up in a round 11 earlier on. Obviously, OpTic, though, we've seen from this tournament, their search and destroy has been on point. I think that might be the case of where the battle is going to end up in the end. I think we might end up getting a best of 9.
What he said. Let's take a look at the highlights now from that brief, but very fun game of control. Speedy stuff all around again. Atlanta FaZe with a fair crack back at it after the PC issue now resolved. Firm handshakes all round as we get things going once again, but again, Chance, it was a couple of clutch kills. This control, it was a crazy one.
I don't know if you're familiar with the saying, ball don't lie. I suppose that is round of Gavutu, don't lie, right? OpTic just making sure they take care of business. That is the way that map is played out through the qualifiers at stage 1. The team that outslaying get that defensive round, so OpTic putting in the work. And this is one of those plays right here where Shotzzy, don't know how he manages to get here, don't know how he manages to win those gunfights, but catches Simp. You see more picks on the point. Shotzzy in the hill, winning him his teammates over towards Ring, winning them all. Early advantage in this series for OpTic Texas. Well, obviously, last time they played FaZe, well, they didn't even need it.
And that's that. We're still seeing the highlights now come through. That opening hit towards B in that first round. I mean, that was the stuff of pure beauty. And then the 2 players prone in A, iLLeY with the spawn kills. It was a wonderful set of control there from both sides. Everyone having their fair share at it. And hey, that's exactly what we want to see out of a good matchup between 2 brilliant teams, 2 iconic rosters. And Chance, thinking about this roster, this OpTic team, for so long, the talent has been there, the names have been there, the gun skills have been there, but the teamwork has never been quite so strong. When it comes to this OpTic Texas roster, that was one of the biggest things we saw. It's like a big change when it comes to the management, it comes to the staff. All of a sudden, you've got them making concerted plays and like huge efforts like that. It's a great thing to see.
And well, I hope you like Tuscan. All the good news for OpTic. Well, we'll be on this map 3 times and trying to look at the advantages. This is a phenomenal map for OpTic in the hard point. They are 3-0 on it, and their average point differential is about 80. So when they win big. For FaZe, though, obviously not a bad map either. 4-2, so they're still strong, but OpTic, maybe just that slight edge.
Yeah, and again, hard points have been so strong for OpTic here. Search and destroy as well, and that control round win, it's nice, but it's very high as well. The overall KD of the team, of course, a 1.12 here in the major alone. They have been putting on for this home crowd, and it has been delightful so far.
I mean, just turning up completely right. Dashy has just looked at a brand new man on land. And well, Scump, he's been the main slayer for the team as well. But obviously in this series, I mean, it is love to all 4 of those players across the board, but still very early on and still a long way to go. It might be a theoretical map advantage for OpTic here on Tuscan Hardpoint, but we know FaZe, the menaces, the demons that they are, they're here ready for the fight.
And don't forget FaZe, they've been playing all day. They have to take on 2 major opponents in the form of the Ravens and of course Ultra to get here. The biggest question coming in is like, hey, how much more of that supreme level COD have you got in the tank? How far can you go against a team like OpTic with this crowd behind them? We will soon find out. Tuscan, here we go into another hard point.
And 2 players to watch in this map for the same reason, but very different styles. Shotzzy for OpTic and Arcitys for FaZe. These guys take routes on this map. Rotations incredibly important, especially that P2 to P3. You got a long way to go. Whether or not they're on your screen, I would always be keeping an eye on the mini-map for both of those players. Obviously, Shotzzy showing off some of his stuff on the Gavutu, right? That was one of those plays that really just sets the pace for his team in that game. He'll be trying to pull off some of that wizardry once again.
Yeah, there's been a lot of magic here in this venue. I mean, an unforgettable major so far. We have seen incredible upsets. Power rankings have gone out the window. Early departures for teams we thought would make deeper runs. Seattle Surge being one of them. Shenanigans from London to come as far as they did. That top 3 placement for those young rosters. That very young roster indeed. Incredibly exciting. And now here we go. Fist bumps out. Ready to get back in the mix. Tuscan Hardpoint. A very, very different beast to Gavutu, Chance.
And iLLeY on his head glitch. Locked in, ready to go after those fist bumps roll out.
He's locked in, dude. He's so locked in.
He's probably the most locked in player we have at all times. They play OpTic trivia in their YouTube videos, and he gets locked in for those.
Yeah, man's cracked, 24/7.
iLLeY is about it, but again, undefeated on this map for OpTic, an 80-point differential. FaZe 4-2. They normally win by an average of about 35, so strong for both teams. Question is, who can make the bigger plays? And I will say, right, Arcitys, a bit of a struggle for the series in game 3, obviously because of the tech issues, but even game number 1, he didn't have a great deal of success on Gavutu. Arcitys player, gotta crank it up just a little bit more.
Here we go, Tuscan. Over to Big Bruce now, kicking things off, sweet nade. That's why he's our Mountain Dew featured player. And it's a big open from iLLeY. He gets 2 right out the rip. We're gonna be into that hard point. The first being the top side of the map, this open field, and Scump. He can hear it, he can see it, he can kill it, and oh baby, Brilliant damage to the Cell as well. Not able to get any more though, but back over the Dashy. Still hard point in the hands of iLLeY and Shotzzy now. We're grouping up, and with good reason. The kills keep flowing through. Cell's going to take care of Shotzzy for now, but once again, it is back over to Bruce. That AR roll posted up towards the back, finding as much damage as he possibly can at range. Cellium flying through. The brakes on from FaZe, but the battle's not quite finished yet. You've got a Shotzzy in the middle of the map.
Well, Shotzzy again, the route man, this is what you get paid for. He just found the perfect timing. I think he spotted that player on the flank, and he wins the gunfight. Now he needs to stay alive because his teammates, they're not here for the rotation yet, but look, he flips the spawns. His teammates should go over towards the right, and it was the same thing on Kubuntu. Shotzzy is out here making plays.
This is Colin. This is the second hard point here on Tuscan. Nades coming through from Cell. Simp winning a big one. There we go. Clearing out the point, but you still have OpTic on the right-hand side. They're close. And for now, they're going to be able to get over towards that hard point ASAP. Now, FaZe lining up for the hit. Cell's going to be the first player now to try to take something from that L side of the map. Shotzzy now making his way through radios. Damage already dealt. Cellium with a plat. Here comes the pinch. Scump cleans him out. That's going to be the kills. Last one in for Shotzzy. And FaZe, that was it. Last mirror on the point cleaned up with 30 remaining. OpTic get the break.
They're just making it so scrappy though, right? But funnily enough, you've actually flipped the spawns both ways. So you have FaZe that just fought tooth and nail to take away this time. So that is a wonderful job on P2 after they lost the spawns. But maybe the good news for OpTic, they're going to end up losing this lead, but they're at least granted that early rotation. FaZe now, the question is, can you fight? Can you bully out? Can you go through P5? Well, the opening is there. They approach it from roof. Shotzzy on the cross, gets taken down. The bait and switch is here. 6-point lead for FaZe. They're looking for the break number 2.
Next point, far left-hand side of the map, the fountain. A tough one indeed to hold. Scump's going to get brought down roof side. This gives an avenue attack now for FaZe. 2 ways in. It's going to be the terrorists making their way through the front. Shotzzy tagged up, stunned there. Here comes the pressure. They're going to overwhelm them indeed. It's on to iLLeY. Last player. iLLeY though, they don't see iLLeY. And iLLeY kills everyone.
Such a big play from iLLeY. Again, he delivers.
Damn!
Follows it up with the kill on Cellium, and for a moment where it looked like FaZe was gonna walk all over him, iLLeY turns up and ready for the next. Bunny hopped your heart out, 4 spree for him. He already has 10 kills.
Lions, 10 and 5 overall. That detonate might make things a little bit awkward for us. You can see though, what a beamer. As he cleans out the backside of the map, but again, it's 15 seconds. We're fighting for the scrap. You now go over to Church. This is a tight hard point, a lot of ways in, and it is going to be an absolute bloodbath indeed. You've got yourself Simp in there now, aBeZy on the backside, and it's iLLeY once again roaming the outside. Scump now through the rear as well. iLLeY finds the final kills. Oh my word, OpTic now. They've won the rotational gunfight.
I mean, hey, they've won 3 rotations now in a row, but it's all for a 5-point lead. FaZe has done a great job of trying to fight through, and there's the opener they were looking for. Cellium from the top, 2 teammates from the bottom. And then Nade taking him down. It's a team kill, and OpTic for the moment still in full control of this hard point.
Neat little spot to catch a nade through the roof there. Does land some damage. See through the X-ray. OpTic reinforcements flooding in through the back. Arcitys now trying to help his team on the cross. Checking every corner. Gets at least 1 now going through the back line. 25 remaining here on Church. And Arcitys now breaking and entering, finding him. Cell with another 2-piece. It's on Dashy now on the inside, trying to find a few more. Oh, right hook does take care of Cell. Here comes the pinch. Last 15 seconds, all OpTic.
That is great scrap time, though. This might be the first time, though, that FaZe wins that rotation, and aBeZy with that kill is going to seal it. But look at the route man. He might have had the perfect timing again. 2 for 2. What is Simp going to see? Well, he gets shot in the back of the head, so now he knows what the game plan is. Shotzzy trying to win these gunfights while his team, they're debating. They might just swarm this from mid.
They're going to maybe hit through well, and there we go, 1 by 1. OpTic through mid. Simp's going to try to win the 1v1 against Shotzzy. Nah, he's dipped out. It's over. Now to P5. This is another tough one, and they're coming in from downstairs, baby. Here come OpTic. Arcitys now trying to find something. Again, the walls are all still intact. Early game. And okay, the trade's coming through. Arcitys remains up. Simp flying through the last second. Here comes Shotzzy to find the weak players. Trades on trades on trades. All the dust settles. It's Atlanta FaZe in control.
In a perfect hold as Cellium is getting warm. He has 15 kills leading this lobby. And the first time FaZe wins a rotation, well, outside of that nade, the time was on point, but because of the nade, OpTic break on through.
Scumping! Rips Simp before he can even get close to the point. Another! 10 seconds remaining here on P5. We're going to fight for that scrap, and it's going to go the way of, well, still happening. With that one coming to a close, though, we go back to the field. This is our second set of hard points here on Tuscan. FaZe currently in control.
And number 5, Simp, he could potentially push out these spawns. If Simp wins this one gunfight against iLLeY, he could flip the map on his head immediately. We might have a tie game in a second. Scump's making plays on one side of the map. Simp on the other gets taken down. OpTic, they found their opener.
Got a way to get in now on the point. Cell's going to try to make something of this one. That kill's good for now. There we go. Shotzzy cleans them up. FaZe now, only 2 members up in the middle of the map trying to get involved in that fight. And it's going to be Simp doing everything he can. Arcity's on the cleanup. Wait a minute, this fight's not over! That fight's not over! Scump wins it! iLLeY though on point. Simp keeping the fight alive, and oh my word, he gets another as well. Now, Atlanta FaZe nipping at the heels of OpTic, trying to get back onto this point. They've got control for now. There's 20 seconds of time still to be had. OpTic on rotation.
I mean, such a battle though. FaZe again just putting in the work to find a way to get the scrap time and time again. Towards P2 we go, OpTic go. This time they get a much cleaner setup. This is what they want, but they still got to find those early kills.
And again, we're going into this one with a very, very close hard point. iLLeY giving a love tap to his teammate there. Let's hear what OpTic think about that one. Let's go for a quick listen in with OpTic Texas.
Close right on time, and we'll go short.
Go, push that short, push that short.
Ace short, then. Where's that time?
Close right time, close right time.
There's only one time, guys.
You made spots.
Go, he's left side.
Be made.
Still there. Yo, start working together. Yo, one guy's left side time close. Yo, I'm watching. Try again, kill. I have low church.
Need help, need help.
I'm dead. I have over you. I have over you. Grab dead.
Short that. Check that.
I'm
trying to flip this. Device one back, look. I'm back middle. These one back.
Okay, I'm back. Hold your own.
Yeah, middle.
Yo, mid point.
Break that.
Yo, he's going Armid alley. He's back now, then.
Yeah, I'm just playing rack.
Give us alley.
Get my spot on him. Back. Watch out. This one on him.
Okay, that's fine.
Two in the back. Buddy got a 2-2 split actually.
Hear that?
Just impure.
Play your left. Hold that shit. Literally hold that shit. Hold roof.
Close on me already. Then. Nice.
Good comms. A game still incredibly close as is. As the time now opens up over towards P3, we heard from OpTic. Now let's hear from Atlanta FaZe.
How much attack?
Back in the back. Dash in the back.
Far left. Dead left. Mid alleys.
On team back, bitch.
Alright, calm down.
I'm right.
I'm gonna look.
Look right.
Yeah, right.
My kill. I got him. Watch out the back.
Watch out. One.
Ivy, let's see.
Ivy, one shot. This guy Ivy. Kill. I'm in over.
Yeah,
Getting your top. I have top.
I was trying.
Getting out.
I'm still top broken.
No, he's Ivy. I'm broken.
They're putting hella pressure on this. Mid-eye, one top. Yeah, I'm rotating.
Shotzzy one shot.
He's gonna rotate.
Mid-eye, Dashy, one shot.
I need ult. Oh, good deep.
Shotzzy down.
Yo, one's already P2. I got him.
Nice.
That's fine. What's the punch?
And there is not a lot between these two teams, Chance0 and Tuscan. We are looking at the rotation now in a church and the battle's still going. It looks like iLLeY will be in there. Can he take care of Cellium? Here come the reinforcements for both teams.
What has been the theme of the game, though, is OpTic there first. FaZe breakthrough again, a battle around the hill. No one really able to get an advantage, but it's FaZe still winning the gunfight. Simp gets the next one. Bullying OpTic out of these hills time and time again. That has been the theme. FaZe are happy to run with it, as this has been the largest lead they have had all game. Barely past 20 points. It's as tight as it could be, but Cellium, he's got 23 kills. He's waiting for the next few.
Watch the back, though. Here comes the hit from Simp. Through mid, finds one. No more to be had. iLLeY's going to be there to pick him up. aBeZy now trying to get involved. Is he going to get anything? I don't think he... Whoa, just about threw it onto iLLeY. Last 20 seconds here. OpTic now with a little bit of time. Dashy looking to hold him back. Finds another. Here comes the push, though. Good pinch there from FaZe. Last 2 members there are going to pick up the time. 10 seconds remaining. That's going to push them over the 200 mark. But here we go. Back to the dreaded P5.
Funnily enough, though, it'll be FaZe here first. This is the hill the first go around where they collected maybe 35, 40 seconds. For FaZe, honestly, one of the best hills, but there's the gunfight. iLLeY wins it. OpTic here first, and they got number 3 Shotzzy. He might be waiting for this flank.
Did not learn it. This is the first time round. Shotzzy, he and aBeZy. It's a race to the top, and he just wins it. Arcitys is a ringing, and he'd be dead in a second. Here comes the slide. Shotzzy. Whoa! Arcitys stays alive. Still, the P5 hit now on. Looking to fan things out. It's going to be Atlanta FaZe, making sure they've got 2 avenues of attack. Now the guns are ringing out on P5. iLLeY dealing the damage. Simp with an nade. Scump now from downstairs, trying to reinforce the point, and it is a bloodbath here. Non-stop action on Tuscan and OpTic. They come out on top for now.
One missed time nade is all it takes for OpTic to try to storm away with it. Making amends for the last go on P5, and now they might be able to retake that lead. But a team kill there, well, it might soften the blow for that rotation, but OpTic, the final 10 seconds is theirs. They will have the lead going into new, but FaZe, it's been rare. They have the rotation.
They have the rotation. FaZe are in the next hard point, ready to go, and this is it. The business end of this Tuscan hardpoint. OpTic now winding up for the hit. Here they go. Arcitys the first to drop. Zip though is going to go as well. Cellium over by the tree. Shotzzy with the tags. iLLeY with the kill. Last up aBeZy. And it's iLLeY. Brings him down. Simp now in the fight. iLLeY gets it again. That's kill number 6 now for iLLeY. Trying to lock this one down indeed as number 7 is not to be found, but the damage done. Here comes the push. Atlanta FaZe on the break.
iLLeY is truly unreal, but now pressure is on the king. Cellium backing it down, that opens up the flank, and there you go. Simp and aBeZy, the tears pick up too. iLLeY though, back for the reinforcements. Ready for the next gunfight. You know he's ready for it. Takes them down. OpTic can win it here.
Now hold on though, Cellium still here. aBeZy trying to get in the mix. That's big tags out of Cell. Gets involved. Manages to get the contest brought down again. Over to the king. Taking on the Youngbloods. There's 10 seconds left in this point. OpTic can win it here. They can close it out right here, right now. And it is another hardpoint victory for OpTic Texas.
Shotzzy pointing at iLLeY, saying that's you right there. The plays toward the end. The 5-3 from the Pope. And what did we see in the Gavutu hardpoint? Early plays from Shotzzy where he sets the stage for the game. Same thing in Tuscan. How many hills in a row did OpTic win the rotation, but FaZe fought back in? A back and forth battle. But who is it that delivers in the end? iLLeY, man, 35 kills, inspirational, nearly 4K damage as well. And not just that, 2 minutes and 25 seconds he collected on a Gavutu. Minute and 57 he adds to the tally. The Super Soaker and the Super Slayer all in one. iLLeY, MVP thus far in the finals.
Here's a look at the last hard point here, the last set. Unbelievable run. Again, FaZe managed to get the rotations, but OpTic, they bully their way through. They punch through that front line, and then it is the dance of death. The 2 members there on point staying alive, and iLLeY, time and time again. I mean, he's just been the man in this grand final.
And keep in mind, it's even earlier than this, right? When he's winning that entry gunfight into P5 against aBeZy. I know OpTic might have had 3 members there, but aBeZy, you cannot afford to mess with them. iLLeY takes them down, and again, just sets the stage for the team. Incredibly efficient work. iLLeY showing up on Sunday, but obviously that team effort, man. OpTic from start to finish, they got pushed to the limit. FaZe were animals on the brakes, but in the end, not quite enough. And OpTic, that 3-1 lead is not comfortable, but you'll be happy for it.
Looking across the map, Simos once again. That was only the tip of the Tuscan iceberg that we are now delving our way through. Search and Destroy coming up next though, and again, it's been the Atlanta FaZe bounce back. A 6-5 either way. After that, of course, we remain on control before we get to the Berlin section, of course, of this grand finals.
And unless you have a very short memory, you remember what happened last time these teams squared up on Tuscan Search and Destroy. It was the hottest of 6-0s. It was one of the very few times, and maybe the only time aBeZy ever dropped the donut, but that's the future map. More praise for iLLeY because he earns it. I don't know how much game fuel he's had, but it is the right amount.
Well, if he's had too much game fuel, I think it's the right time now to throw to a very quick commercial break, as we all need a little breather after that madness. When we come back, we're playing Tuscan once again. This time, Search and Destroy. My friends, what an event this has been.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Let's get into this one. We're staying on Tuscan here in our grand finals. Major One has been unforgettable as we now run our way into another Tuscan Search and Destroy. And this one's going to be fun. Fans are insane. I mean, I was downstairs for like 30 seconds. This place is packed. What an event this has been so far. And we're far, far from over.
We're getting the good stuff now, man. We got to square up again on the Tuscan Search and Destroy. It was the hottest of 6-0s from OpTic the last go around, but we got the two best teams in the world going at it. Two of the best organizations in the world going at it. And even for the coaching staff, two of the best brains in the world going at it. What kind of game plan does Crowder come up with to help his team out? Where is he going to tell aBeZy to go to find those first bloods? That was their theme. And by the way, nades might be the name of the game. Thieves use it against FaZe to pick them apart. OpTic is the name, but Shotzzy!
Okie dokie. Woo! Arcitys manages to let us all catch our breath once again. But here we go. They know he's an A. They're going to make the push now. OpTic, they're conga lining. It's the glorified human centipede, baby, and here they go. They're checking every single possible corner.
And look, you see FaZe is playing split as well, so if they ever find these gunfights, it'll be a 3 versus 1 in effect. So either Arcitys or Cellium's got to make the big play, but there's a lot of corners to check, and FaZe have grouped up together. And now OpTic starting to like spread apart. Scump trying to chase. He trades out his friend.
Trades it out. 2v1. Scump it. Checks the corners. And Mack, that was like run and hide phase. After that opening 2-piece on the Terrors, just get out.
And look, like all the way back in Advanced Warfare, you could run around like a wolf pack nonstop, and that would be the play. On a map like Tuscan, you see the setup, right? Dashy gets left over towards A. Even when he gets picked, the 2 flanks were going to be perfect. Someone was going to be there for the trade. So the strat, the coordination from OpTic, it has been tried and true throughout this tournament. Their teamwork has been on point. Round 1 for them, and while I'm trying to set up, nades might be a heavily impacted thing. It will constantly impact the way these guys approach the openers. Or Shotzzy will just fly in and pick up 2.
I mean, as dangerous as a nade, if not more. iLLeY has hit dead silence. That's number 2 on the minimap. That's all done now. Opening gambit now closed out. aBeZy with the first blood. Wow, the wallbang there from Arcitys. Dashy, those little blinds doesn't save him for long. Scumpy though, and the nades continue to be the bane now of Atlanta FaZe in this 2v3.
That at least softens things up just a little bit, but a couple players making moves, right? Simp is clearing out so much of the spawn. This is process of elimination. There's only so many places where these final 2 OpTic members can be, and with the shots coming through, Simp's waiting to pull that trigger, but maybe he doesn't need to. Arcitys finds the pick. iLLeY for the 1v3, and we know he can clutch them.
He's alive and well. Nades are out, expecting the aggression. This is far from over. Arcitys and Cellium now, making their way around town. They've got a little bit of time to go. iLLeY with the bomb recovery now. Keep an eye on those arrows. Keep an eye on the play. Things are about to get spicy. Oh, baby, what a little hop on the stairs there. Group up. You have the numbers. Don't throw the round for FaZe.
And part of the reason why nades are a theme, you hear how loud iLLeY is running around. You've got to throw Fortified on because you can't afford to get blooded by the grenades. So loud towards the end, but FaZe with the nice strat. The biggest problem they had on this map is Shotzzy when he's working over towards P5, responsible for the flank for his team. aBeZy, not as aggressive as we're used to seeing because he had to make those adjustments, but he times it perfectly, flies in, finds that first blood.
Offensive round now for FaZe. Through the mid-map we go. Here comes the nades. Expect to see this all year long in Vanguard with ever-growing precision. Those nade spots will be deadly. I think FaZe may have seen enough. They're out. A's not for them. They're going to make their way across the map now towards B. And again, we've got Scump in position now for that one. Again, this heady one of a kind. They're really going to find it. If they check this corner well, here they come. Beats up first. Scumpy lines him up. Quick reposition. An absolute classic. Here come the rest. FaZe forward they go. Scumpy takes 2. Oh no, a team kill. It's an absolute disaster. But Arcitys now the 1v3. Better their shit hit the fan real quick there.
Still though, there is time to clutch. He's on a 4, so he's not jumping off the map. This is still for OpTic. They need to close this one out and not let Arcitys collect any kill streaks. He's very loud, but he hasn't been heard yet. OpTic have not given it away any freebies, and time is ticking again. If they can shut Arcitys down, it's great, but you see he's repositioned, moved towards the back of the map, and that'll be our next 15 seconds unless Shotzzy makes the play. The de facto 3Ps from Scump.
Oh, man.
I mean, FaZe are just hoping that he's not going to be set up waiting for the play.
It's a stroke of bad luck more than anything, but hey, they were holding hands in a time where they needed a tiny bit more space, and OpTic will take that round. The COD gods, for a brief moment, the clouds parted, and they were blessed by that light.
You say a stroke of bad luck. I say again, just a beautiful game plan from OpTic, right? As soon as the nades come through over towards that A site, Shotzzy moves into position and says, hey, I've got this bomb site. As long as we got the other one, we are good. So Scump says, thank you very much. I will not move from my perch. Yeah, and you're dealing against that first blood Røkkr. You take aBeZy down, you're feeling great. You get the next two, even better. Advantage OpTic.
Well, there they go, real fast. Likely to dodge most of the nades. You can hear them exploding in the background. They're going to get ripped out. And okay, we're hitting it. OpTic, they're going the long way round. It's the scenic route.
And no one's adjusted yet. Number 8 is the first player to turn, but they're already past. They are so much faster than FaZe expects.
Oh my God, they're already here. They're chilling on the B bomb site. Shotzzy's in. He's pitched a 10, baby, and he's making schmores. Here we go. Scumpy's now making his way forward as well. Hey, Simp! We'll take that first blood. We may as well plant the bomb as well. Here comes the hit now, but it's going to be Shotzzy. Nice trades again. This time, no friendly fire. Arcitys on the 5. He stays alive again. 3v2.
And again, OpTic don't make mistakes, right? They don't want to risk that bomb plant just yet. They're trying to bait out these players out. You got iLLeY watching over. Now you spot Arcitys, and he's the man on the streak, and he's the man that gets shut down. OpTic, too clean with it. No mistakes made. A perfect round of search and destroy, a perfect play call, too quick on the flank. They get past before FaZe turns. You get the first blood, and there's no panic. You got plenty of time. You don't got to plant that bomb. You can't give Arcitys a freebie. And well, who's watching over to take him down? Well, I think it was Dashy, but iLLeY on the flank picking up those kills. Calculated is OpTic Texas. The best S&D we have seen from these guys. Such a long time.
Since IW, quite a thread on Twitter I created with that tweet. IW seems to be it. Here we go though, Shotzzy up. Cell, a dangerous player at the worst of times. What's he got now to offer? His first blood. Scump's gonna get involved. And see, it's just so hard to deal with him. Great stuff out of Cell to get the 2 there in a very, very challenging situation.
And you had to make a play, right? Because that bomb gets planted. But now this is too many things to deal with, too many clutch spots. But it's iLLeY and Dashy. These two can go to work, but 23 seconds, I mean, near impossible, and that will seal the deal. Cellium, destructive in search and destroy. Dashy not even looking for the freebies. He's looking for a place off the map, or he'll hand away the free kill. If we're thinking about the round 11s, this map, it's not a ridiculous margin, but offense generally preferred. You throw away your life, give that other team the kill, and say, hey, if it comes down to it, we just want to make sure that we get the side we want. But again, Cellium just making those plays. An MVP candidate, and a man that throughout this season has a 1.65 KD in the mode. And the crazy thing is, he's slowed down a little bit.
Yep.
That's how good he's been.
Back at it we go. This time OpTic now on offense. It's going to be a heavy hit towards A. Waiting for the nades, waiting for everything to explode. As that opening concussive blast clears the way now. Shotzzy posted up on the other side.
And Shotzzy, I mean, he's just a constant concern for the team. You see the nades getting cooked and tossed out. Looks like no hefty connections. That is nades from both sides. Cellium, what does this coordination look like? Can you find anything? Can aBeZy find the timing to try to get this first blood?
He's got mid-map for now. That's great. That keeps that A-bomb site safe for now. And here we go. That's the pinch. iLLeY, big win from aBeZy. That's a great opening blood. Gets out with his life. No guarantee, though, that that was the bomb carrier.
And aBeZy out in the wind, doing the same thing for OpTic. And now this is 3 players geared up together for Scump. Here we go.
Oh, he doesn't get one this time. It's going to be Simp who manages to find the kill. The bomb now goes down in Scumpy's hands. Here comes a slight pinch, though. Dashy on one side. You've got Shotzzy top church. Here comes Dashy. Opening salvo fired. No kills. Shotzzy does manage to win his. Church side of the map now no longer safe. 30 seconds on the clock. As Shotzzy cooks a peach. aBeZy's going to eat this one. Will he die? No, 2 HP. Shotzzy, you're going to be able to find it here. Here comes the push. aBeZy somehow stays alive. The trap was set, sprung. Atlanta with a round.
And what have we said for OpTic? All the adjustments. You get the first blood, you make the perfect play. Well, aBeZy doing the exact same thing. He has never lacked aggression in his entire career, but when he feels he needs to rein it in, finds that perfect positioning, gets that first blood, and gets out, because if he had stayed any longer, Shotzzy would have been there for that trade. And that wraparound to deal with Scump. FaZe, clinical round to tie things up. Game 2 was around 11. For this one, we might be on our way. And keep in mind right now, Dashy, Big Bruce, 0-4.
0-4, very uncharacteristic of Dashy. Big kill out of aBeZy to rip things off. Simp can't get away. Tries to strafe IRL there in the little player cam. Can't get much out of it. Arcitys lands the nade on a Scump. So now 3v2. FaZe with the man advantage. Bomb planted now over towards A. And Dashy does manage to finally get himself off the donut into the breadstick. A little less calories, a little more ideal, but he's done again. iLLeY in the 1v3 now. Makes it a 1v2. And that's the round. FaZe, strike hard, strike fast.
And what happened yesterday in this series after FaZe got beat, Arcitys said, fine, I'll do it myself. He has woken up and started taking over with a vengeance. He might have had a few slow Gavutus, but in this search and destroy, when FaZe is down a couple of maps, he has been the guy on this map so far. I mean, we're what, 7 rounds deep? This will be round number 8. He's got a fantastic average. I mean, he is 8 or 9 collected, and even Dashy, you see, I mean, Arcitys is just giving them no breathing room. 9 kills already.
A terrifying prospect to allow FaZe to continue deeper into this competition. The same thing with last night. You have to kill them when you have the chance. And here comes aBeZy, dancing on the outside against Shotzzy now. A battle of the wits as much as it is a battle of the aim. Bomb planted fast. OpTic are out.
And look, Shotzzy's back to his spot. He runs P5 in the flanks, and this is where FaZe is going to be coming through, but it's 2 players. He at least takes 1, but still his team is left in a 2v3 because Cellium finds a pick.
Here comes Cellium though, aBeZy through the middle. That's going to be 1 more. That's aBeZy on a 5 now. It's all on a Dashy, 1v3. And now he's in a lot of trouble. The kill comes through and aBeZy nails it. That seals the defuse. And there we have it. Map point, Atlanta FaZe.
And we saw it for a brief moment. Cellium on a 4, but not just that. He is the man that finds that extra pick. While Shotzzy might run the show over towards P5, the rest of OpTic got picked apart over towards A. Funnily enough, it was a very standard round. That was the most normal one we've seen, right? Shotzzy gets that middle map control, you get the bomb plant, but whether things are spicy or standard, Atlanta ready for it. Off the back of Arcitys, as you said, more to go.
1 more for now, Atlanta FaZe. 10-4 for Arcitys. aBeZy on the 6th spree. If he gets 1 more, he gets the glide bomb. That's the streak. It's the fans in the esports stadium here in Arlington, Texas. Got to rally behind their hometown heroes. And 1 last push now. iLLeY desperately trying to keep the boys afloat. So far, that first blood does just that.
And if aBeZy, I mean, finds this kill, even for defense potentially in the future, that glide bomb could be devastating. He is the man that needs to be shut down. It looks like right now that's what they're going to be playing for, right? Arcitys is responsible for the middle of the map. You know the head glitch is going to be on. Maybe he comes out and tries to bait for his team. They're reading the B push, and Cellium again finds an opener. 3 versus 3.
Bomb plant now at A. Dashy, our Mountain Dew featured player, still on that 1-6. A tough one there for the mighty Bruce, and he's going to now do what he can to hit that wrap. Go over towards A. But you have to get going now. Oh my God, the wall bang from Cell. Straight through the wall, straight through the door frame, straight into Dashy. Over to Scump, can't get it done. Atlanta FaZe. What a dominant performance from them. And that is the search and destroy closed out. It's been their absolute money maker here in the series so far. They'll win another. And Tuscan, our little trio is almost finished here.
And they got 6-0 on that map yesterday. You think they went back to the drawing board to figure things out. Mistake-free Call of Duty. Massive plays from Cellium time and time again. And aBeZy continuing with the first bloods and the sprees. I mean, he had what? I think 12, 14 kills, whatever it was in the Gavutu. Well, he turns up towards the end, but that is because Arcitys kept them in it the entire time until they started to take over. FaZe, incredibly efficient in the search and destroy so far. 2-0 in that respective. Fantastic game to turn things around.
Yeah, and Arcitys, when he's just been this weekend alone, I mean, when things have looked a little rough for FaZe, he's been the man to step up. He's been the man to absolutely run the show, and certainly does the case here. And that was the view from his POV, still on that 4th spree. You can't give him the 5th for his teammate there, but man, the 1v1 fights again. This was the 2v1 spot from Cell, from this location again. A huge win against Scump, and that's it. Through the window, through the wall, you name it, he's getting those kills, Johnson. Tusken search and destroy. Atlanta FaZe bounce back.
And obviously with a little bit of time in between maps, you can wipe the sweat away from your brow. Try to get geared up and ready to go for the next one. We're expecting this one to be a grueler. And well, FaZe keeping things close. Still a map advantage for OpTic. But we are, what, 5 maps done and dusted, potentially 4 more to go. And to talk about the rest of them, Tusken control. Last time we played, Dashy popped off, but it still was him and a glide bomb. And it was still only a round 5 victory, so by no means was it dominant. But that Berlin hardpoint to me is one of the most interesting things. That is a map OpTic have struggled on. They had options of what to ban. They get rid of Bocage, so we will see that Berlin, I suppose, should we get there. But we definitely have FaZe towards the later side. A lot of potential. And obviously that Berlin S&D, we know it's been OpTic's bread and butter, but we also know FaZe has been a team on that map to take him down.
Indeed, our last taste of Tusken here and our last taste of control in this grand finals. We won't be seeing any more after this because we ain't getting no more maps. That's the problem. But that's the way it's going to go for now. This Tusken control, again, the last time they matched up, round 5, Dashy dropped, what, 40 kills? Absolutely unbelievable stuff. Speaking of control, though, again, speaking of Dashy, take a look at the head-to-head now between both he and Simp, 2 of the craziest performers we've seen so far in the competition. Dashy, man, I mean, he's been unbelievable, Chance. That's a 2.23 in control so far in the major.
Do you want anything more than that? Could you ask for anything more than that? It's the clutch plays, it is the ridiculous slang, and Tusken is where he's been able to get it done. I mean, keep in mind for OpTic, we saw him on the Gavutu control. I mean, that's what, the 2nd time, I think maybe 3rd that they've actually played it. Tusken is where they have made their home, but I don't know. I feel like we haven't seen a ton of work out of Simp so far this series. Maybe this is the opportunity for him to try to pop off and tie things up for the team.
And this is the thing with, Simp and Atlanta FaZe. Like, the more they play, the stronger they can get. And if they can get things going here in this control, start to finally turn things around, level it up, who knows what happens when we get to the Berlins and if we have to go the distance, it's a throwdown on the cage.
And keep in mind for that plus-minus stat, if I remember correctly, it's basically an evaluation of your traded kills and the traded deaths. So how much are you able to get value out of your life? Well, Simp in that category has been a machine. So you know when he's alive, he is absolutely getting value. And you know on Tusken control when we get into it for the side of OpTic where Dashy's been popping off, he basically gets left over towards that B site. He'll be around top church. He'll be trying to pick up on these flanks. And the player that he was reading time and time again was Simp. We saw adjustments made from Atlanta FaZe out of the Tusken S&D. They're gonna need to make adjustments here on this map, but I mean, those records for both of these squads, it is a slugfest.
And they know what's going on. I mean, this is the major, though. Dashy, 2.23 again. We're going to bang this drum all day long. It's been unbelievable. 40 bombs aplenty. New levels. Vintage Dashy, if you will. A new look now for OpTic as they soar into 2022. Can they get it done with a win here at the major? Well, Atlanta FaZe turn the clock back once again and remind us that these dreams are just that. But here we go. Tusken control. Dashy back on up, flying through mid. iLLeY absolutely eviscerates Arcitys. Oh baby, we're going to B! What? Scump cuts him down, and it's the OpTic special! Oh god, iLLeY's getting the kills as well! Oh, goodness, Arcitys as we bite back. Dashy, the last player left up. And they don't get the segment!
They didn't get the tick. They only got a 1-life lead out of it. We saw them put it in practice earlier on, but now they try to put it in play, but Atlanta FaZe, that adjustment was made. That being said, it's still not a terrible spot for OpTic. You go back to the sort of normal side of that round. It's not a massive life advantage, but you still have control over towards that A site. Shotzzy dealt with. Simp is there. Now we might try to cut through the middle of the map. FaZe absolutely can try to fight them off this time.
A zone's a kind of safety net. Simp, how well will you time this? Wow, that's good enough for now. Getting at least one. Arcitys now through mid. Dashy, reach howls. They call him Brucey, big balls somewhere in the world, and shows it there. 22-21 now. OpTic with a slight lead. That's the A zone gone. Just under 2 minutes to play with.
And iLLeY getting spawn killed, by the way. He's going to have to be worried about aBeZy as FaZe clearing out everyone else. Shotzzy picks up 2, the only one alive. Dealt with, away, and gone. iLLeY trying to work his way through P5. He knows aBeZy's here. Can he win the gunfight? He can't. Get shut down. And FaZe on defense right now. Holding strong.
Holding strong. They're going to hold for as long as they can. Simp keeping the kills going. Just locking down every possible avenue of attack. And here on Tusken, there's plenty. And that's huge out of Simp. Is he going to finish Dashy? Oh, no, he's going to start a brand new fight on iLLeY. Then pick up his own trade. Crazy stuff out of Simp now, and Arcitys with that aggression. Shotzzy, does he see it? He sure does. Big kills the MP40 now from the young Phenom. Time ticking away though, 110 remaining here on Tuscan.
And this is somewhat of a waiting game too, right? Scump thinking about a potential flank, or maybe he wants to regroup with his teammates. A couple picks come through, but every single time any player from OpTic falls, it makes the push that much more difficult. Scump trying to get out of dodge, but instead he gets taken down. Couple trades back and forth, nice bank nade as well. I think that'll connect, but not enough for the kill.
There's plenty of damage, but it's not enough for the kill. And again, iLLeY trying to punch a hole through the back line. Oh my, what? He slips the net, and now all of a sudden he's in, and Cell's going to be scratching his chinny chin, thinking, how the hell did I let iLLeY through? And iLLeY, he deals plenty of damage. Here comes Scump though, and now on the flank once again, Shotzzy. Oh baby, he comes through at the same time, and here we go, 30 seconds remaining. Is this the opportunity now for OpTic? That's a, what the hell, aBeZy!
Massive one-on-one, man. aBeZy doesn't win that. This round could have started to spiral out of control, but now you'll be a man down for the fights, and aBeZy still here, gets the timing. Players for OpTic falling one by one. The gunfight of the round, and aBeZy guns the king, but still 10 seconds left. OpTic looking for the final push. Dashy trying to open things up, but I don't know if it's enough. Shotzzy trying to make that hero play. Stuff. iLLeY, the last one alive, nothing to do. Defense holds strong. And what a way to do it. That gunfight from aBeZy also starts off the spree. He'll go into the next round, he'll be on a 4.
That's unbelievable. aBeZy just won that round. And those final moments, I mean, you get the good luck where iLLeY manages to slip through that tiny little blind spot that Cellium's there where he's checking tank. He gets in, Shotzzy comes and gets the kill. That man on your screen ruins all of it for OpTic. Unbelievable.
And keep in mind, even if he doesn't win that gunfight phase, still good chances of clutching up. It is not easy to capture the point on Tuscan, especially without the tip progression. By the way, they're going for the B hit, but they'll have that life advantage looking forward. And aBeZy, he doesn't care about the streaks. He'll be the first one in anyway.
Shotzzy sees doors. Shotzzy sees them open up. Arcity's watching the cross. Here comes aBeZy now, trying to hit the players in the back line. Shotzzy gets involved, at least one for the very time. It's not aBeZy though, he's still in for streaks. Here comes nades up, trying to keep the fight alive. Great timing out of aBeZy, just that little step back and forth, and all of a sudden, you're in trouble now.
Huge kill though by Dashy, at least just to shut that down. And well, now you got a little bit of map control. OpTic, mid-map is theirs. Maybe a flank through fire, maybe a flank through mid. Shotzzy gets dealt with. That battle between him and aBeZy will be non-stop. Same thing for Cell and iLLeY. So many of these games have been back and forth, an absolute battle, and now Scump, maybe his opportunity potentially to think about a flank. Dashy, the worst timing ever towards Church. He gets cleaned up, and now OpTic might have to panic a little bit because aBeZy finds two.
And this is typical aBeZy, man. Typical FaZe. They're just starting to walk through you right now. They've got one segment at A. They're stacking up over towards A now again. That's their second segment cleaned up. 57 on the clock. Hoping to push it to 157 if they can get the full capture. And Arcitys, he's the man there. A statue right now, just locking it down, not letting anyone through. Scumpy though somehow gets a two-piece. Finally brought down. We'll take that for now. Oh, gets away with his life. iLLeY there with the cleanups. But you still have members of FaZe here in position to keep the pressure. Back and forth we go. Great coverage. aBeZy's nade. Cell somehow stays alive, undamaged. A zone should be done.
I can't believe those nades were landing. I mean, they're throwing them basically at their teammate, but it turns out to work perfectly. OpTic does have a 3-life lead, but that is for the round. I think they're down by 1 for the overall count, so a very close game once again. FaZe, minute and 40 to work with. You got Simp working through P5, everyone else through Church, and they're taking the route through Church. They're trying to group together.
Jump a hit. Nice start out of Scump. Can't quite get both. Cell, massive win. Trades again. Good teamwork out of OpTic, but once again, trades. Flying forward now into the B zone. That's going to be early pressure. Now the grab. aBeZy, sadly, that team nade, they can't dodge it. He does manage to bring the bodies on a point, so you now have 2 members of FaZe stacking up, and sadly, they're going to get blown apart.
One picks it up though. Dashy's here on the flank. aBeZy gets the timing and aBeZy gets the kill. And now you for OpTic have to think about so many things unless Scump gets the return on the gunfight. Making up for the previous round, and OpTic for the moment still holding strong on defense. 4-life lead, 1 minute to go.
Both flanks covered. That 4-life lead growing now, 14-9. Life down helps a lot. iLLeY's ears be ringing. As lethals and tacticals now expended. FaZe winding up for the hit. Shotzzy now on the flank though. This could be tremendous out of Shotzzy! Finds the pair. The 3 skulls there of FaZe littered across the P5 site. And Scumpy, over to him now, just scoping out P5. Every single possible avenue covered. He and Shotzzy have this on lock. The clock's still ticking. There's 30 on it, and Jesus.
aBeZy checks his corners, if nothing else. 17 and 11. top Slayer in the lobby, cooking a couple nades with 20 seconds. You're hoping to find a pick. Keep in mind, Shotzzy, by the way, trying to time out the flank, but depending on where he goes from, you have number 7 on the map, Arcitys waiting for him. This might be the Lives waiting game. Atlanta FaZe might just be cutting their losses. That seems to be the case.
We saw them do it on Kuavo previously. The rupture of applause there from the crowd tells you one thing. That's going to be an OpTic Texas round win as that sort of temporary truce, that ceasefire falls across Tuscan.
And slightly stronger defensive round from OpTic as well. I think they're going to have maybe a 4 or 5 life lead, so we're certainly dealing with margins, but any advantage is a welcome one. I'll also say for FaZe, by the way, there's been times where it seems like they're basically nading their teammates. I mean, we saw teammates happening in the Tuscan hardpoint. Obviously on P5 it happens, but even in that moment, it is just a dagger in the push. FaZe got to be just a little bit more coordinated because you can't afford any mistakes at all, but this is almost an S&D breakoff, right? Shotzzy responsible for that P5 flank. He's like a Swiss Army knife. Plays it 17 different ways.
First blood's one thing. Swift capture of the A zone, another. Big win. iLLeY stays alive, keeps the capture going. Over to B we go now for Shotzzy. Now trying to draw the defenders, and he will do just that. A little bit more than draw them. Here comes the kills. And now you watch him just oscillate from one zone to the other. Across he goes. Now Scump backing him up. Simp and Cellium, they're on the prowl now, looking for anyone who may be in this spawn.
Shotzzy got shut down though. I don't know if he was able to get that glide. I know he was getting close, but here's your Mountain Dew future player. We know how good Dashy can be in control, but you wide to the wrong gun. As good as that pistol shot is, not good enough for that fight. aBeZy's been on point. Arcitys staying alive. Down to 45 HP in a tough spot, but he's got Simp here for the help.
Yeah, he's gonna have to push this. That's gonna maybe hurt him. And 1v2, nice teamwork. The old bait and switch out of Atlanta FaZe, good coverage. You've still got Church presence now for OpTic. Oh, and aBeZy's ruining that. Simp, this side of the map covered. aBeZy picks up a 2-piece on the other side. A defensive round now from FaZe with just under 2 minutes to play with, all even in the life count.
Simp finds this opening. I mean, he struggled on this map against OpTic the other day. He was not allowed to have any roaming potential. This time that is the case, and I think Simp might have the perfect timing on this flank. He's there to take Scump down. They know Shotzzy is able to get in towards Church, but he gets picked. Again, Simp, that information he is collecting on point. Dashy now forced to try and make a play, but that is a gunfight near impossible to take.
That's why he's going to throw a nade. He can get the damage in the cell, he does. He might reach out, or iLLeY will go pick up the pieces. Here we go. Forward we into the fight. Oh, from the hip. Yeehaw, says iLLeY. The old 6-shooter comes out, nails it. Shotzzy cuts down aBeZy now as the cuts are covered. You're going to keep that B zone as open as possible. Who is it though? Down low, it's going to be Arcitys there with the automaton, a 2-piece to his name, roaming around, finding those kills. You still have iLLeY in the back line though. Will they be able to pinch this one out? Yes, they will. FaZe hold the line.
Still though, that life battle. OpTic still have a very slight advantage. They're going to want to keep this close and maybe a push or two left towards B. The nade's going to soften him up, and aBeZy can't even watch the cross. He gets back down. And it's Shotzzy trying to find that opening. There's the first, and he's out like a ghost.
Oh, he's gone. Arcitys, though, he's going to take a few with him. iLLeY and Scump, they're going to be the players to drop. Bruce has got to back on up. This is far from the 40 bomb we saw him drop previously, but allow him to get going, and you never know where things will end up. 30 seconds remain. Arcitys on that 5, comes to a close. Scump right back into the mix. Here we go, forward, onto the zone. 20 seconds. You don't want to let this one go down as well. Giving a freebie right now to Atlanta FaZe, not ideal.
Again, that life count incredibly close for these two teams. OpTic need to make sure they're on point with the approach. You see the nades again, down to 24 HP, but aBeZy is there for the help. Tough setup to break.
Oh, Dashy can't get anything. Shotzzy unfortunately lands a stun onto his teammate, and that is it. The push comes to a close, and it was an absolute disaster from OpTic there in the end. Atlanta FaZe, they'll take that round happily.
And it is incredibly close to dead even in the life count in this game, in this series. Two best teams in the world getting after it. Round 5 on this map, the last time they played. Certainly we have that same scenario again in our sights. What will OpTic try to do on defense? A little bit worried about the B push. Shotzzy again, he'll always play towards B5. This is the OpTic strat. FaZe are doing the OpTic.
Right through mid. Is anyone going to read it? Dashy may have seen something. He may have spotted it, but they've already made it through. iLLeY Shotzzy reading it on the defense. Bottom Church now made safe. aBeZy cut down as iLLeY pacifies Atlanta FaZe once again.
Easy to read that book if you wrote it. OpTic on point. All that fanciness nothing's gonna happen. Again, Shotzzy responsible for so much over towards B5, but he gets killed, and I think FaZe, they're trying to figure out where they want to approach this. A couple players started to wrap towards roof, but now they're wrapping back towards A. Obviously, OpTic, I mean, they're here. Scump that front man, iLLeY right behind him.
Trying to tie up the series with an offensive round win here on their attack. Here comes iLLeY once again, 3 down in a row. The pistol's out, an unfortunate mantle. He will be brought down, and that's going to give Atlanta FaZe now a bit of purchase to hold on to that A zone and slowly but surely capture. And here comes the hit.
It's a two-front ward, though. It is Dashy. He's the man responsible to watch the cross to B. I don't know how many saw, but he gets picked, and now for FaZe, you get 2 bodies on point. OpTic, they are so far away. Maybe a flank from Scump, but right now it is the 2-man stack.
2-man stack. That's going to get that B progress going fast. First segment gone. Here comes Scump though on the flank. The players have spawned. It's up to Dashy to find something, and he does. Scumpy on the flank as well. Defensive hold works out for OpTic. They'll live to fight another day. 23 to the 18 of FaZe.
So clean on defense, man. An opportunity for FaZe just gets shut down. Arcitys now the last man standing towards A. And I think for FaZe, it's feeling like you might be stuck in your spawn. Skumped with the next one. 18 kills in that fire control. Spawns for FaZe all over A. Maybe a well-timed flank, maybe a battle against A. Can't quite find the kill, and at least he's going to be a thorn in FaZe's side. Looks like OpTic going to give this one up. FaZe will have, if they ever capture A.
If they want it, it's there. Are they worried more about the life count? Whoa, big win out of aBeZy and Simp. But they might be letting A go. They've done the math.
This must be a calculated call. They must just said, let's not even worry about it. Let's just try to take the life advantage. We're doing the math. +7, minus, ooh, that's close.
It's
I actually
real
no
close.
idea.
The round will come to an end. OpTic will take the defensive round. And as it comes down to kills, defense will be decided now in round 5.
I think OpTic has defense. The issue I have is like the team kill with the stun. I didn't keep track of team kills because I think
there was a
had
few.
one too.
Right, there was a few. So
I don't know if they did the math right though. I mean, you know, I trust FaZe more than I trust myself. It's got to be said, but
it's still a bold gambit. It's still a very brash move in FaZe. We'll see if it pays off. And it turns out the results are in by 1 kill. OpTic.
Look, dude, that is
they take defense.
That is insane, and it's a standard strat off the rip. That we have to ask them in an interview if that was intentional or what their thought process was. But either way, to round 5 we go. OpTic clutched defense last time, but now it is FaZe getting all these kills. And well, Abe, he's thinking about the plays, maybe over towards B, trying to hunt down these players. The next one in line is Dashy, but he gets out with his life.
An unfortunate mistake there in the movement from aBeZy, very uncharacteristic of him, and Scump's going to punish him for it, and Scump, oh baby, Dashy there with the teamwork. Over towards A though, that second segment coming to a close. 1:21 on the clock, a lot of time to play with here in the final round.
Unbelievable call, but now for FaZe, that pressure's on. You might not have found yourself in this situation, might not have been expected. But here you are in OpTic, I mean, completely chalking A. Look at the stack they had. They're trying to flood through P5 and get all of this map control. A little bit of pressure on Scump, potentially on that flank, or maybe the pressure will be on Dashy over towards Church. Meanwhile, Shotzzy, I don't know how much of this he can hear, but ready for the gunfight.
Oh, it's a tense fight indeed. Simp flying in! Absolutely beams him. Cellium's going to get a kill on a Dashy as well.
This is it. How many people on the point? That's at least 1. That's 2. How good are your nades?
OpTic brought down now on spawn. One last desperate push. Here comes the hit. Nades through. Scumpy through the back alley. Finding the first opening kills. Arcitys can't escape in time. Caught sprinting. Brought down to his knees. Scumpy, will he check this corner? Cellium will maybe bring him down, but that's going to be enough for now. The defensive line holds. OpTic, keep it going.
So much time for Atlanta to work with. Not easy to capture this point. 2 through P5, 2 through the flanker. Maybe aBeZy will cut back and help Church. Cellium finds that opening pink, and Simp stays alive. He's trying to cut through mid. Shotzzy's here.
Here they go, back at it again. If first you don't succeed, try again. And that's what FaZe are going for right now. Here comes the nade. Can history repeat itself? OpTic finding the trades. Oh, Shotzzy somehow gets in. And just like that, OpTic hold the line.
That is a tick through though, right? FaZe at least have a little bit of progress. With 1 man, it normally takes 45. Now it only takes 30, and that's just with 1. You get a stack with 2, you cut that to 15, and then some. FaZe, they need that 1 moment. OpTic still, they've been great on the holds. They have to keep it up.
Here comes the third wave of Atlanta FaZe players. Corners checked, nades cooked. It's go time. Scump starts it off. aBeZy making his way in. The numbers dwindling. This is a much better look from OpTic. Once again, OpTic hold the line.
Simp, he might find a kill, but he's got to wait for his teammates. I mean, this has been a 1:15 burn. They had so much time to work with, and now you're going to have to push the pace to go faster. Good timing for a gunfight to take care of Scump, and Simp flying forward, finds number 2, looking for the 3rd, just jumping past him. He's got his teammates.
Simp's in. Now the spawners from OpTic trying to make it happen. It's the 4th time the charm. Simp trying to make it happen. The kills are there. OpTic hold the line.
And that take never came through. The nades on point, the gunny on point. OpTic still holding on. One more try for FaZe. It's got to be perfect.
The last ditch attempt. Atlanta FaZe, 5 waves. They stop the clock on the point. Dashy finds it. The clock opens up again. Here comes aBeZy as the king of the helm. OpTic hold the line.
The decision from FaZe in that round 4 to pump the brakes, to stop going after kills, could be a decision that haunts them. Keep in mind, from our perspective, it's easier and still difficult to keep track of the hills from the players. Keeping track of the deaths, it is not easy at all, especially when, again, a couple team kills come through. It makes that count mixy. And I have no idea if it was intentional from FaZe, but what I certainly know is that in the end, OpTic holds strong. Dashy with a solid, albeit not a superstar performance, because it was a grinder of a game. But defense holds strong. OpTic, not only do they win both the Gavutus, they get both controls as well.
Both controls go their way, and you're looking back on that one for OpTic. Holding the line was one thing, holding those defensive rounds, impeccable defensive plays. But it really was the decision that cost Atlanta FaZe that control round potentially.
One map away, Miles, one map away. OpTic will be champions. Berlin S&D is the next one for them to have that opportunity on. It has been one of their favorite search and destroy maps, but it's also one that FaZe has taken them down before. It'll be a spicy one indeed.
Spicy one indeed. You'll have to find out how spicy. Bring some milk. It's going to be hot after this quick break.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Zenny Gaming. Armor your eyes with Block's gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDL.
One more map is all OpTic need now to walk away with a win here at the opening major. Under their very own name, their own banner in front of a sold-out crowd. You could not ask for more, but Atlanta FaZe, a team who you can truly never count out. Young players, rising players, talks of dynasty. They're going to be put to the test here in front of this unbelievable audience. Even the greatest of the greats, Chance. I mean, you shake under these conditions.
And you bring up the players on FaZe. They have been on point for the past few years, the best in the world. And literally for Simp and aBeZy, maybe the first two players, SMGs, you could actually say outright have had better years consistently over Scump. But he has had a legendary career. He is back in the finals, one map away from reclaiming his throne. I mean, the king is in, and again, he has been part of so many people's childhoods because of how amazing of a career he has had. In Berlin S&D, maybe the map to seal it in. And it's not just the king, right? Shotzzy, he's been making the wizard plays all day long. iLLeY, maybe the best performance of his career. I mean, we got babies in the crowd.
We got babies in the crowd.
Future fans of Scump, almost certainly.
We got the next generation of OpTic fans on a man's chest down there. We see you, sir. We see you.
But Berlin, a map where FaZe has taken OpTic down, but also a map that OpTic, they love it. They love the slow plants over towards B. I don't know what the stats are now, but I mean, their KD at one point over towards this site was a 2.68. Their bread and butter, and look at the stack from FaZe. They know what the deal is.
It's aggression, and it's met by Shotzzy, who stays alive somehow. He's going to meet a tactical or two before he goes out now, but that opening blood will help out indeed. Atlanta FaZe, this is it. Last chance here in this grand final. And so far, that B on the outskirts of the B-bomb site. Simp trying to defend it. Our Mountain Dew featured player Dashy now on the highest perch he can possibly find.
OpTic never in a rush. They know the timings well. They're happy to be patient. Eyes on Simp, but Dashy gets picked. He loves to play top third. Arcitys, who has been a monster in Search and Destroy, reads it, evens up the odds, but look at the opening. Scump was here over towards A the whole time. He'll be here first, but FaZe, quick on this read.
Cerebral plays out of FaZe.
They have nades.
They've got nades. Here they come. Shotzzy eats it whole. Will he get the plant? Hello, Scumpy saves the day now. 3v2. OpTic in the post-plant position. Cellium's going to try to make the approach through mid now. And he's going to be up first. He can see the gun. He can see him. Oh, can he? The answer is no. Simp last up. 1v3. 30 seconds on the bomb. Trying to make it work out. There's one.
Always on point when they have those slow B pushes. Well, even when it doesn't pan out, the rotation call perfect. I know S&D has been a focus point for Scump. He's the man that leads that charge, finds that opening kill, or at least the next one over towards that site. Gets OpTic that first round. But keep in mind, both of the S&Ds have played out similarly, right? You had a 4-2 lead for OpTic on Desert Siege. You had a 3-1 lead for OpTic Texas on the Tuscan. It's about closing it out because you know FaZe has some fight. FaZe straight towards B, no time wasted. On the cross though, Dashy finds the pick.
There's the first. Bomb down out in the murky streets of this cold Berlin night. iLLeY has eyes on. From this distance, he can't see that bomb, surely not. But you can see now the nades being invested. Whether or not that's truly because of the importance of the bomb being down or whether it's because, you know, you're just throwing nades. We may never know.
They're looking for Dashy. They're looking for Dashy. That looks to be on point. There's one, but Dashy finding kills in the meantime, getting pelted with nades, but he's peppering them with bullets. His fight against Cellium, arguably the most important on the map. Well, there you go. 2 versus 4 now for FaZe. And they still have Big Bruce to deal with.
He eats nades for breakfast. That's not quite a nade, but he'll take it. The gunfight now lined up. Here comes the grab of the bomb. You've got 30 seconds now to work with. The close to the B-bomb site. In we go. OpTic know it's up. Going to blow the windows right off that one. If Dashy, can he find another one here in this round? Shotzzy, he's hit the flank. He's going to make it in. Arcitys caught napping. 15 seconds. Simp once again. This time a 1v4. The shots are there, but the time is not.
Four rounds left to be crowned champions. 2 clean ones to start. iLLeY 3-0. Dashy finding those first bloods. iLLeY found his groove. Head bopping to the beat of the cheers. And back on the attack, OpTic. I mean, it is the tried and true game plan here on Berlin. How happy they are for this to be their Matt. Cellium potentially spotted. There's one nade. I'm looking for the second, but they don't connect Cellium. Still free and clear.
They hit absolutely every single barrel. It's all been thrown. Cellium's shots are the only thing that really give up the play. So now that he's here, he has no idea how many members of OpTic. Nice covering fire from Simp there. Dashy does manage to take care of Simp at distance. Shotzzy dips out with his life. Shotzzy finessing for as long as that left stick will keep him going. Finally brought down now. Arcitys spots one on the cross. 3v3.
Keep in mind though, Scump, I mean, this might be the fullest flank of all time. I don't know what he'll find, but meanwhile, they got the bomb, but Cellium's here, finds the next pick, and Arcitys on the cross. They have no intel, but there's the first one. Now it'll be a 1v2. Plenty of time to work with it. Cellium, too quick, too pixelated, and takes him down. Atlanta FaZe get one on the board.
He may be the most pixelated player in the league. He's always in a tiny spot. He's always in a difficult angle. He's very hard to kill, always.
Cellium, he'll never take gunfights where he doesn't have the advantage. He will find ways to take away an advantage. And that is a round that they needed. Not just him. I mean, that was 3 players it took for Arcitys to be the one watching the cross to finally take Shotzzy down. And obviously the tags for new. The FaZe mixing things up. Very aggressive hit. The tears straight down A.
Straight down A. Nice damage in the shots. He's going to push him back. Scumpy, though, in he goes. And there's a lot happening here on this bomb site. Scumpy, we're blowing the windows away. He's still alive. Bomb down. Here comes Simp. Does manage to win the gunfight. The reinforcements now from OpTic get involved. Tags up. aBeZy hitting the flank. Massive work out of him to get at least one. Gets out with his life. 2v3. FaZe with a man advantage.
Bomb's still down. Not that like it's far away. Looks like a reposition potentially coming through. I don't think they're expecting a wrap towards B. They're trying to make sure they game plan, right? We know the clutch spots when the bomb's planted on A and they're coming through mid. They're going quick.
Dashy and iLLeY. 2 dangerous search players. Simp gets spotted. Here comes the fight. Shoulders being thrown. Tags up. You see the damage dealt already. Simp wins the big one. Here comes iLLeY. And Simp! An unbelievable 2-piece. Brings them both down. And this is the thing with FaZe. Their lethality is only matched by their, resolve. They don't give up rounds they should win. They take the advantage, they run with it.
If we learned anything from FaZe yesterday and over these past few years, it doesn't matter what kind of leads you have. You are never safe. Tied up here. Simp locked in. OpTic will be back on the attack. We know what they love to do. They're happy to make those adjustments. But here's the adjustment. It is a rare sight to see. They're going towards A, but a standard defensive setup. FaZe are here. They have a bit of presence, and the nade's out. They got the intel. They get that first blood and take down Scump.
Shotzzy desperately trying to fight back. That 13 HP is going to get him nothing. Without the king at the helm now, all tied up 2-2. Do we go to B, or do we stick it out at A?
This is like the 5th time, I think, this year we've actually seen OpTic attempt to go to A. We saw him do it earlier. It did not pan out. It left iLLeY in a 1v3, but he clutched it. Now it's not just iLLeY. Dashy and Shotzzy roaming together. A 3 versus 1. Nobody watching this cross. New angles uncovered. Shots ringing out, only 40 seconds on the clock, but FaZe, I mean, it is just such a tough setup to break down. Shotzzy, he is trying to find that opening.
The silence is deafening. Finally, the shots ring out, and it's a kill, but it's not enough. Oh, Shotzzy doesn't check both corners, and Arcitys was on the dot there. And that's a great round from FaZe. Patience pays off. smile cracked across Simp's face for a brief moment there. Are they starting to believe?
Truly unbelievable, even in that moment, that Shotzzy actually finds the one route to get through all three of them. But the benefit of the setup there is FaZe, they're just swarmed around and they're there for the trades. Still, though, that is unbelievable that Shotzzy's able to even uncover that. But either way, I mean, again, OpTic, they try to go to A rarely. They get stuffed. I think for FaZe, happy that they had those nades off the rip. They bullied him out at A before. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They go again.
Yep. 3 players to the outside of A. Simp reads the door, push on Shotzzy through secret. Nothing secret about it. Finds that opening blood. And now starting to slowly but surely purchase their way into the bomb site. And it's going to be Arcitys now. Scump paying the iron price goes down. Dashy taking care of the potential plant there. Quick recovery from Simp. aBeZy still watching that plat. He should have this covered, but the pinch is on.
It's iLLeY. He's got to make the play. He gets shots in, but he can't find the kill. He's looking for it, but Cellium too quick to get away. 2 versus 3. Now the pressure probably on the flip side. Maybe on Dashy to make this play. Checks his corners, and he finds one. 2 versus 2, but now it's flanks on flanks.
iLLeY trying to stay alive now. Does he guess this one right? Dashy's going to try to back him up. Less than 30 seconds to go with. And there's the fight. iLLeY wins it. 2v1. It's on Cellium. Picks a corner. Picks his poison. And it's Dashy with the kills and the defuse. A massive round for OpTic.
We need a neurologist to check on iLLeY's brain size. Too big. I mean, he's finding those kills. Dashy's checking corners, making the plays on one end. But the patience from iLLeY, he knows that someone has that potential to wrap all the way back around for that bomb check spot, waits for it. I mean, you're in a situation where OpTic are almost forced to make the play, but too smart, lets it just fall into his lap. An incredibly impressive round. And that is one OpTic needed. Even when they've had the advantage, FaZe has been able to come back. You cannot afford to go down a couple rounds. We're tied 3-3. For OpTic, we are back to Old Faithful.
Back to B. It's Cellium once again in the low docks position. Overwatch there by Simp. Timing. Oh my word, it was very close indeed. Fast plant now. Will Cellium check this one? Oh, the COD God just smiled on OpTic. Hello! Gets the kill. Plant does come through though, so you still have to worry about the bomb.
Those doors aren't broken though. You can obviously shoot through them, but it's going to make it a little bit trickier for OpTic in this situation. You see the shots coming through, no hit markers yet. And no one from FaZe, by the way, is flanking yet. So number 1, Dashy, he's kind of out of this fight.
It might just try to hit through the front. Final 30 seconds though. Play's got to hit now. Cellium watches his teammates fly into the fray. Simp the first to get the fight. Scump the last player left alive. He wins 1. Will he get away with his life? Tagged up. Here comes the hunt. Less than 20 now to work with. He's going to check it. He can't get it done. FaZe too strong. The retake was there. And how do they do it? Right through the front of the site.
And this is what we saw the last time these guys played. OpTic incredibly efficient actually getting that B-bomb plant down, but FaZe so quick with the retakes. And honestly, I think you could play that round over the top one we saw the last time they played. Incredibly similar circumstance where Dashy feels forced to move in to help the teammates, gets caught along the way. In Atlanta FaZe, incredible. Their game plan on point. On Berlin, 4-3 lead. Obviously for FaZe, back, still against the wall. And towards A they go.
3-man stack for OpTic on the defense though. Here comes the presence. Shotzzy doesn't want him. This one a little more lethal. Shotzzy down to 20.
Nice nades.
Coordinated nades there from FaZe. Take care of Shotzzy. Scump's going to be the one up next. Here he goes. Finds 1, finds 2. And the A-bomb site is all his.
Again, man, the clutches from OpTic. How quick this one potentially has come. Cellium gives away his position. He's looking for just any gimme of a kill, but he can't find it yet, and that bomb down. He has a stun and a nade to work with, but that is literally it.
A hope and a prayer with that nade. There's 35 seconds left, and he's trying to bait the fight. He knows this is a lost cause in this round. We're going to be tied up at the end of this 30 seconds. Square up, try to take him on. He's in the corridor, he's out in the open. You're not going to find selling shots like this. But a great round from OpTic. A sublime 2-piece from Scump on the bomb site. We level up the score at 4-4.
Perfectly done. Atlanta FaZe in this series have won both of the S&Ds. We're tied up 4-4. We've already had a round 11. But OpTic have 2 clutches. Back on the attack, FaZe have broken them down in a couple different directions. Can OpTic find these next kills? Only one man spotted on the cross. They'll be taking their time.
Dashy's out. Looking over towards B. iLLeY close train. Dashy 7 of 5. Cell eats a bullet.
This is where the nades come through, by the way. You get that information, maybe try to get a couple down.
Oh!
Or maybe the fight for Shotzzy. Stunts through on both sides. Simp backs out. Everyone's still alive. You hear the nades trying to land. Nothing connects.
Simp like a cat burglar slips on out without a single hit marker. So now Shotzzy is ringing. He's in trouble. Simp,
oh my God!
The barrel destroys Simp. He's gone.
That's the nade kill for OpTic.
That's the plant now over towards B. Here comes the rest of Atlanta FaZe. They're committing to this site incredibly quickly. Will this catch OpTic unaware? Maybe. Cellium with the first blood. Straight onto the site we go. Here comes iLLeY, trying to cover it. Cellium again. Once again, finding those kills. Scump and Dashy are still in play. Over towards the bomb we go. aBeZy brought down. Scump to the usual spot. Nades on in on the bomb site. There's still time to work with. Will Arcitys survive this? Yes. Scump trying to stay alive, and it's Dashy with the coverage. It all comes down to Arcitys. There's 20 seconds on this. He has to kill them both and defuse the bomb. Scumpy taken care of. There's no way Dashy lets this one go. This has been an incredible effort from Dashy and Scump. It is tournament point, OpTic.
1 round away. OpTic Texas. Brand new roster. Handful of world champions. And the king looking to start their year off right with a victory over the team that has been dominant for the past 2 years.
This is where Atlanta FaZe proved to us why they're one of the greatest teams in the world to bounce back from this situation, try to force that round 11 here on Berlin. A bomb site will be the choice for FaZe. Shotzzy clearing the windows. They know something's up.
You're gonna have nades over towards A, looking for some intel. You got Shotzzy spotting aBeZy down low, but keep in mind, iLLeY, the brain on the long flank. For the moment, Cellium's watching it, the time it can be on point. Even have Scump creeping up. So far, bomb not going down.
Spots him. Massive kill from Cellium. That is an unbelievable first blood. Now the 3 remaining members of OpTic have to now contend with the full might of FaZe. But Shotzzy! What was that angle? The bomb doesn't get planted. Scumpy flies in. Shotzzy on the outside. aBeZy the last one up. And it's Dashy! Sold-out crowd on their home ground. The writing was on the green wall from the start. It feels a little bit like destiny. OpTic Texas have done it.
Unbelievable plays. They get it done in the search. The superstar orgs merge together and start their time together with a big old dub. Championship theirs. They take down the big dogs to do it. And what an unbelievable performance. New angles, new plays, dominant respawns, dominant search. And they're only just beginning.
It has been 1,183 days since the OpTic banner lifted a Call of Duty trophy, and well, technically they get it today. And in front of this crowd at this moment, you can't make this shit up. You can't. 5-2, the final score. It is a new age here in the CDL. Atlanta FaZe have invested in the final, and it was one hell of a final. And these fans, the victory is just as much theirs. What a show.
And at the early parts of this year, concerns for the team. A couple losses in the round 11s. Fear in the heart of the fans. Little did they know, when it comes to that first major, they'd be locking it down to be your champions in Major 1.
It was the map and mode that they couldn't win. A search against FaZe here in the final was the one missing piece they needed to just get the job done. That Dashy, 9-5, 9-6 from Scump. Everyone pulled it out. Magic from iLLeY. Shotzzy with that final kill into the bomb planter.
And it is credit to everyone, right? Top down, from the players to the coaches, the S&D turnaround, phenomenal. I mean, honestly, through this weekend, it is as close to perfect as you can get. The new angles in that final round as well. They just gave us a taste of the year OpTic are looking for with a 5-2 victory. The maps were close, the series count wasn't.
Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. One iconic event, one iconic finish. This crowd has been something else. We'll never forget this event. We'll be talking about this one for a really long time. We were hoping to get, that Chicago Huntsman series way back when, sold out, arenas, you name it, but we really got it here tonight. This was something special. This whole week was really something incredible. And as you said, a taste of things to come for this year ahead.
And look, man, right? Like, we missed the OpTic event, but the first true one we get, they win it in front of the home crowd. The crowd has been phenomenal all weekend long. Couldn't get any better for the fans as the chants continue to ring out.
Well, this is it. Let's throw it to the stage. Our Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. Clint, take it away.
Let him hear it! Boys and iLLeY, I saw a lot of tweets saying this is your best series, your best event. How do you feel, pal?
I just feel good to be here in front of such an incredible crowd, and I just want to thank my teammates. I couldn't do it without them. These guys are fucking disgusting, and yeah, I just love all of them. And the work we've been putting in has shown, and this is only the beginning. We're gonna keep going hard every single day. We're not gonna get complacent.
Hell yeah!
And we're doing it all year.
Do it. Yo, Scump will pay the fine. You're good.
No, just keep going.
Shotzzy, you know you've been in front of a couple of different brands, right? Have you had a crowd like this before cheering for you?
Never. This is, the green wall is insane.
Anything you want to say to the fans, buddy?
I honestly appreciate every single person that came out. Regardless, whoever you supported, I genuinely appreciate it. It makes everything so much funner. So, obviously shout out the fans and shout out Green Wall.
Now, Seth. Buddy. These last few years have been interesting. It's been tough at times. The start to the year, a little shaky. You said you guys were working so hard. Your mom's been in the crowd. It's a special moment. How you doing?
Oh, I'm on top of the world right now. I'm telling y'all, this team, we have worked so hard day in and day out for the past, I would say, month or 2 months, just every single day. Always improving, always learning, going over VODs, going over setups. We do it all, and I hope that it showed for you guys. And shout out my mom and Iz. I love you guys.
Oh, yeah, I love the green wall. I gotta say, Clint. I gotta say.
Yeah. Well,
love
Dashy, as the MVP chants start. Listen, you've had your fair share of MVP type events or years. The individual accolades have been there. The championships haven't been at times.
No, they haven't.
But for you, it has. But now, with these guys, with this group, how special is this?
Oh, man, it means the world to me. Obviously, to do it with these three guys with Seth. I mean, we've been going at it for 4 years now.
Yeah.
So to finally get another one, we got multiple chips now. We can say that. We got the chips with the dip.
Baby.
Nah, man, I can't, this is the best feeling I've ever had, and I'm just so happy I got to play with three of the best players in the game, so shout out to these three right here.
Is this just the beginning?
I hope so. I'm not content with just one now. I'm kind of greedy. I don't know.
You guys are incredible. That was an amazing win. One last time, everybody, for OpTic Texas. Make some noise.
Brick by brick, the green wall never looked better. Dashy, iLLeY, Scump, and Shotzzy taking home the trophy and also the grand prize of $200,000. And I just want to say, welcome, baby. This is Call of Duty. Right here on the desk, we're going to break it all down in them nameless. This has been 4 amazing days, man, and for it to come down to this, hopefully this turns out to be a new era.
You know, it's been many years, but I gotta say it, they have proved me wrong. These guys went so hard. They fixed all their issues. You can see them on your screen right now, just so happy, and they should be proud. Dashy, a player in particular, I've been so critical of the last few years. He's had so much development in this game, making high IQ level gameplay day in and day out. This tournament was just spectacular across the board for OpTic Texas.
And aLLeY, it's not all about just individual success. All 4 of these players came together as a unit, and there was just no weaklings. They dominated the event.
Throughout this entire series, you couldn't just name one MVP. Every single one of them had an MVP performance in that series. It was just dominant overall.
And Merc, being able to hoist that trophy, and with the troubles that a player like Scump has gone through lately, he has to be on top of the world.
Oh, 100%. I mean, listen, obviously, you know, when you had the Dallas Empire and this team, you know, come together, I think the biggest part was obviously having Shotzzy, iLLeY, and Rambo. A team that built a system with Dallas Empire. They had so much success. And honestly, if you watched OpTic the last couple of years, they have missed that system. They have been sloppy. They make the same mistakes. But more and more now, you're starting to see they quickly fix those mistakes. And I mean, you're seeing it all over the timeline. The most teamwork, tactically, they are on top of it. The hard work that they're talking about, I believe it.
From the coaching staff down to the players and also the green wall. Nameless, we can't doubt it anymore, man. For the next major, you guys better show out, because with the chance and the crowd and the energy that they provided this entire arena, this was magical.
Yeah, and the confidence that they're going to get from this event, right? They beat FaZe not one time, but twice. And in the final, they dominated them throughout that. FaZe only won 2 search and destroys. That is so impressive for a team that is playing against a FaZe team that's been playing together for a very long time, right? Like, this team was newly formed coming into this season. So OpTic Texas, man, completely shutting down all the haters, me included. I did not expect them to be that good in such a quick turnaround from starting off the qualifiers 0-2.
Yeah.
These guys are unreal.
I mean, we got to give it out to everybody that competed this event, to be completely honest. Yeah, OpTic Texas won it. They're the champions, the best to do it this event. And taking a look at the coach on the main stage. I mean, Merc, I've been following this guy since Black Ops 2, and Rambo is just a beast.
I mean, I won multiple championships with the guy. You know, I know the type of person that he is. I know he's very hard on them, but, you know, he trusts his players trust him. That's what's so important about it.
Yes, aLLeY, go ahead and put the bow on top about that series. It was long, it was grueling, but OpTic held out to the end.
It was long and grueling, but there were so many exciting moments. I know everybody's about to hop in ring play and do what Shotzzy did. That wall bang into the bomb was the complete turnaround they needed for that round after that first blood. And I was talking to everybody on the desk on Talkback. I was like, it's an absolute breakdown, it's an absolute breakdown, it's an absolute breakdown. And then all the kills went their way. Incredible out of OpTic.
But we have to say, if you're a FaZe fan out there, don't walk around with your head down, because they're a great team and they could have definitely won that as well.
I mean, it happened multiple times last year, right? Yeah. Where they, you know, lost a major final, didn't make it to a major final, but they always bounce back. But I love hearing that from iLLeY, right? The point that he said in the post-game interview is, we're going to go back to work. We're not going to get complacent. Because OpTic teams in the past, they have gotten complacent, right? Allowed people to catch up. But the fact is that other team up there in Atlanta, FaZe, they made a lot of fundamental mistakes, even in that last map, throwing away 4v2s, first bloods that don't turn into round wins. It's not like them, but you know that they're going to come back and try to win the next one.
Now let's talk about it. The Game Fuel featured player, and you heard the crowd saying his name every time he got a big kill in the search and destroy. It's going to be all about Dashy, but not just that, but Nameless, he's also our MVP of the event.
And he absolutely deserves it. This guy was taking over. I mean, the amount of Tuscans we've seen him pop in 3-4 pieces was just unbelievable. You know, I was questioning the AR play on the side of OpTic Texas throughout the entire qualifiers. They weren't able to win Berlin. They weren't able to win Gavutu. Well, coming to this event, they look fantastic in every single map, man. And that's Dashy's improvement over the years. At times, he'd be the guy to make the individual play. Well, on this team, he was playing together. He was playing with guys like iLLeY around them, putting them in positions to succeed as well. And I attribute that a lot to Rambo coming in as the coach. As Merc mentioned, Rambo knows how to work with guys like this, and Dashy has developed so much.
All right, take a look at his stats right now. Search and Destroy a 1.53. aLLeY, if Dashy continues this, I'm scared for everybody when it comes to stage 2.
I have no doubt in my mind Dashy will continue this. He's already been a star-studded player coming up to this event, and it was always, Dashy stuck in an unfortunate situation again. But now he's the one in front line. He's the one getting the first bloods and S&Ds. He's the one dropping the 1.4 in control valley. He is definitely stepped up as a player, like Nameless said, and it works perfect with this roster.
Yes, now let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket and prize pool to see how things have unfolded so far this event. From the left side all the way to the right, the last team remaining is, of course, OpTic Texas. And they walked away with not just bragging rights, not just a first place prize, but Nameless. They walked away with a whole lot of money, man. $200,000.
It's a lot of cash, man. You know, FaZe has been used to getting that, you know, every single month. So now OpTic Texas this year, they're trying to win all these tournaments. You heard what iLLeY said, doesn't want to get complacent. They absolutely have the ability to do it. They start off with that first win. Just got to keep it going from here on out.
Yeah, so Atlanta FaZe walked away with 120K, but also I'm expecting them to come out the gate swinging, man. But not just that, take a look at every other team on this list. They came out, they put on a hell of a show. And Merc, I'm going to be completely honest, man. When Thursday came around, I really didn't know who was going to be on top. Of course, Atlanta FaZe was the easy answer, right? But seeing teams like London Royal Ravens prove people wrong, and you know, the LA Thieves almost beating Atlanta FaZe in the loser side of the bracket as well. The competition this year is pretty thick.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you were a fan, I think there could have been 4 or 5 teams, you know, maybe even 6, said like, you could win it. And I think you could make an argument for it. That's what's been so fun about this league. Yeah. You know, that's what makes, you know, a best of 9, winning a tournament like this so impressive, because it's just the way they're doing it, the opponents that they're going up against. And series like that, it's long, man. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
You got that right. Now, for those of you that really enjoyed this event, and you better have, okay, we have another one coming up very soon. This month is going to be a marathon. The Minnesota Røkkr Major will take place March 31st through April 3rd at Mystic Lake, and the tickets will go on sale tomorrow. 96 teams, and don't forget, there's a Challengers Open bracket there, so you're going to want to compete. And for those of you that even want to go to the event, if your favorite team is going to be playing there, let this be a lesson that you don't want to sit at home and cheer behind your computer screen. If you come out to this audience and you cheer for your teams, you might give them that little added boost that we saw OpTic have.
And listen, obviously we all know that the OpTic fan base is the OpTic fan base, but Røkkr has been throwing a lot of viewing parties these last couple of years. We're always tuning into them, so you know, hopefully they can bring it. It should be a great event.
Yeah, so Nameless, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I mean, what are your total thoughts? This event has been just a banger. I mean, after every play day, we get together, my brain is fried.
My massive takeaway is that OpTic and FaZe are going to have some battles this year, man. We are in store for an amazing year of Call of Duty.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's been it. Since Thursday all the way until Sunday, we have had top-notch Call of Duty action. And if you forgot, and you better not, don't forget, this is the Call of Duty League. If you want to see some high, intense gameplay and just amazing events all around, you come to the right spot. Can't wait to see you guys in Minnesota. And don't forget our online qualifiers. Once again, congrats to all the teams. Shout out to everybody involved, all the talent, Esports Engine, Call of Duty League, and most importantly, you at home, the fans. We are nothing without you. We love you guys. Can't wait to see you next time. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day. We'll see you later on for more CDL action.